Okay, I think we are getting live here. It's been some time since I've done this just as a Q&A. I think it's been like a year. Yep, we're live. Okay, good. Okay, good. So, before I do anything else, there's just a few things I need to check over here for, tech reasons. I have already started a Q&A. There is actually a place where you can answer, you can ask your questions. So just like last time, they should fill up right there, and I will be able to see them, and then I will get to them. So yeah, so make sure that your questions go there instead of the regular chat, so that way they do not get drowned. And I do please request not to ask a bazillion questions. Like, ask the most important ones that are on your mind. So I will be getting back and checking that here shortly, because I absolutely need to cover a few things with you all first. And first things first, hi! Happy 2026. Well, as happy as it can be, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that are very troubling, to say the least. And as you all know, I try to keep politics out of my content, because this is not the place or channel for that. It is a place for everyone to come together, push all of that aside, and just be together and enjoy gaming and fun and the like. So I will say, though, that things are troubling, to say the least, and I am very, very sorry for everyone involved, and I hope that things start looking more positive in the future. Now, let me go on ahead and cover a few things about where I've been, what's been going on, and what you all can expect going forward. First, Cody Black. Yo, good to see you again, boss, and hope you and Bud have an awesome 2026. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's gonna be part of it. I'm gonna actually move this chat over here so it doesn't look like I'm way over here answering questions. I can actually kind of focus right here so my face is a little bit more where the camera is. Speaking of which, I am gonna get a new camera. This camera is outdated, and I do need a better setup for it, because it's currently like way up high, kind of aiming down, and also the quality is kind of grainy. Even though that it's like an actually good quality camera, it's a 1080p camera. I think it's actually no, it's not a 4K camera, but it's a 1080p camera. It's an Elgato camera, but it's showing its age. I've had this thing for years, so I think I'm going to probably get a new one. So that aside, so real quick, do you all actually see the Q&A section? Like, is it actually there? Because if it is, then that's great, because I don't see any questions actually showing up there, and I'm a little concerned. Unless I'm missing something here. I could have sworn, like, by clicking on it, I actually see the questions. So I'll get to that. So you all see it. Okay, good. So I don't know why I don't see it. Maybe I need to oh, it's because I need to actually click on it on this screen here. Okay. Wow, yep, there's a bunch of them. All right, cool. Great. We're in good shape. We are in good shape. All right, I see them now. And so now I have you guys, the chat right here that I can see, and then I have the questions over here, which I am going to pop out. And there it is. Okay, perfect. Good. Can I actually? No, I'm gonna have to just use this one. That's fine. I can swap between them. So live chat and questions. All right. So, where have I been? What's been going on? What's happening? Why am I so old? All right. So, first pressing thing to answer is that I'm old because I have been on YouTube since the dawn of time. I've been here since the advent, the start of Let's Plays back in the early 2010s, back when PewDiePie was screaming about barrels and Markiplier was still just using a grainy camera like mine and wasn't producing movies. And Matt Pat was making theories about time travel and Chrono Trigger before FNAF even existed. So that is why I'm so old. Thank you for asking. Nobody asked that, but I'm asking myself, why am I so old? But that will tie into some choices that I've been thinking about for the longest time, for years now, and it's been all over the place. But let me first go into history. I know everyone's favorite subject. My history. History of the past year or so. So, Bun and I got out of our apartment last year around March. We found a place, a nice duplex. It was nice. Nice neighborhood, nearby some decent shopping. It was a nice place. But the landlord wanted us to move out because he was selling the place. Well, he wasn't asking us to move out because he wanted us to move out, but because nobody buying the place that he was selling wanted us as tenants. Either they wanted to live there themselves, or they wanted to be a landlord and jack up the price, and they didn't want us to pay the price that we were already paying, which is already pretty high anyway. So we weren't able to enjoy our place for very, very long, and constantly we had people coming in and checking out the house. We had to constantly keep it clean, and every time that they came to look, we had to leave. And that could sometimes be even during times that I'm streaming, which I've asked not to. It happened rarely, but it happened. Either way, we didn't really have a lot of time to relax, enjoy, be ourselves, but we still did what we needed to do. I still streamed, I still did everything, but we were still struggling to actually feel like we were living life, you know? So cue October. Favorite month of the year, October. That's when I do my horror games. And I did my absolute best to make October as awesome as I could. That was the month that we were originally meant to leave. But somebody bought the place and we had until November. But the thing was is that we were still trying to find a place. And because my history in Canada is still very, very brief, it was hard for me to find anything. So what you guys know already, because I've already brought this up before, Discord, even in chat like this, is that while we were doing the October streams, we have been trying to find a place to stay or live, just in general, because we were being forced to leave no later than November 26th. So crunch time was happening. So we were struggling a little bit. End of October comes. Now it's November. I still haven't finished Resident Evil 4. I wanted to finish that. So I did get on stream and do Resident Evil 4. But that was about it. As you all know, I pretty much kind of disappeared except for D&D, because D&D is a commitment not just for myself, but for others. Other people that are also playing it, and they rely on me to give that to them. So I did that, and there was a lot of times that I could only do that, and I had to cancel streams, and there were even plenty of times I had to cancel even the D&D sessions. Like, everything was all crazy, because when November hit, we finally found a place that was willing to take us. We are in this place now. We are not going to stay here for past a year, if not even a full year, because while it is nice that they took us in. It is a townhouse. It is nice that they took us in. It is in a place, it's in a part of a neighborhood I'm not a big fan of. We've already had a homeless person come up and knock on the door, asking for help. The first night we were here, we have several people knocking on our doors asking for people that don't even live here. And there's traffic and a bus stop outside that attracts all kinds of weird people. And it's just not, it's not ideal, but it's fine. It makes a lot of weird noises like water knocking from the pipes and such, but that's because this building was built like the 1930s. They've done a lot of renovating, so it looks newer, it feels newer, it's nice. It truly could be a lot worse, though we do miss our duplex, but it is nice for now. But we haven't even had time to settle here. My room here, the camera is not focusing on it's a mess in this room. I have bags and boxes and such that still haven't been unpacked yet. It's an absolute mess. There's a bag of wires for my computer and other things. It's just billowing out everywhere. Like, you come in here and it looks terrible. Like, maybe not Asmongold terrible, but it's a watch where you step. And I cannot wait to get this all cleaned up. We have only just recently been able to finally get most of this place under wraps. But that's because almost every week or every other week, something has been happening. October into November, streaming every day, we're at the old place. Still trying to find a place to go into. Start of November, we find a place, we get movers to clean out the other place. We are constantly going back and forth, taking some little things so that way we're not paying a little bit extra for the moving. So we're kind of in on that as well. So it's now mid-November. Just finished Resident Evil 4 for you guys. We have to turn around, hop on planes, and start heading down to go and see my family for their Thanksgiving. We're there for several days over the course of a weekend. We come back. We're exhausted. We have other things that we have to take care of because now we come back to a house that is still full of boxes. We have not unpacked anything because we were already off to go visit family. So now we're spending time getting things unpacked, putting things away, buying groceries, buying other things. So all of that, we just ran out of time and I got too exhausted because here's the thing. I could stream, but the whole point of watching somebody stream a game is for the personality. At least that's how I feel. If I cannot entertain, then I should not try and wait until I can. And I know most of you would get bored as hell if I'm just here, just tired eyes, nodding off at the screen, trying to be entertaining, and that results in either dead air, cringe, boring, whatever, and that's just, it's no good for everyone. So that is why there are those weekends that I did not stream, because that was the state that I was in. Because on top of that, on top of all of this, we get back from the Thanksgiving trip. Then we have a doctor appointment for a physical that I've been wanting for years because I've been back and forth on all whole kinds of stuff. It's harder to do it in Canada because you need to have a family doctor and you need to apply to get a family doctor. We applied way back at the start of this year. We only finally got a family doctor later on. So we had that finally happen. So it took like 8 months just to have our first appointment to meet the doctor. Then we get, that was back in October. Then we finally go in and get our physical, blood draw and everything. And now we have been so busy that we have been contacted by our doctor to come in and talk about the results. We haven't even done that yet. I gotta still do that. So there's that I gotta do. So now we're looking at, it's December. So December time. Okay, what do we still gotta do? We finally kind of settled in. We finally kind of gotten some things done. Oh wait, it's Bun's mom's 60th birthday. So we gotta drive down and spend time with her and the family because it's the big 6-0. And that was a very big event It wasn't just like any other birthday. It was a big event. So we wanted to be a part of that, make sure there was something special, and did the best that we could. That's all done. We come back home, and we can only be here for a week before we go right back again for Christmas. So we come back, we're tired, we still have things to do. I got more Christmas stuff to do. There's bills to pay and all that. We're turning right back around and driving down to her family, spend Christmas, get back in, drive back home. Then there's New Year's. It's now January. And January has hit. It's now the 10th of January. Last week, I wanted to stream, just be like, we're finally done, but I was so exhausted. Just everything happening, the driving, the commitments, the spending, the future, the preparing for future things. So much crammed into 3 months. I just needed time. Hence why the past few weeks have been slow. I have wanted time, which has allowed me to kind of recuperate from everything, get my creative juices going, figure out what I want to do. And there are some things that I have thought about and have come across some revelations. And these revelations have a lot to do with not just me as an individual, but also what I am doing with my life as far as YouTube, content creation, other things like that. So the first thing that I want to, well, I guess the second thing that I want to cover is what plans I have for the channel right now. Well, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. We're going to cover the good news first. Good news, number one, I'm not going anywhere. I still want to do this because, damn, I have this community. Why would I just be like, see you later, bye? I'm not going anywhere. The other bit of good news is that I have been back and forth on something a lot, and I have decided that I have been getting so many. I just picked up a mallet. Like, I have been given so much conflicting information about so many goddamn things. Let me explain. Some of you have noticed that my subscriber count has dipped below 200,000, right? And that it went up when I did some Let's Plays. And that was because, well, I did Let's Plays. And that was because it was a brand new game, the hype was up, and I was doing things the way that I used to do. Long format, edited stuff, made people laugh, ha ha ha, jokes, cutaways, things like that. But that was somehow I forgot what happened. But something happened with me mentally or something, I don't know, but it all kind of fell apart, and that was with Persona 3 Reload. And I've been finding that it's just so easy just to hop on and stream versus recording and editing and such, especially when streaming makes the money, which helps pay the bills, and doing content creation makes me almost no money and takes far more work. So my mental brain is like, why do what's harder and earn nothing when you could do what's easier and earn something? And that is where my mistake happened, because subscribers started to drop. And not just that, I have zero presence anymore. Yes, a live stream on YouTube becomes a video, but It's a little complicated because things have changed. And we've talked about this before. Things have changed. What is popular? What is popular right now? Short form content. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, things like that. And if people are going on YouTube, what's the most popular form of entertainment on YouTube right now? Long form content, but not like Let's Plays that are 30 minutes long. I mean like long video essays, the thing that people put on to play in the background. 2 hour, 3 hour things. Like you guys have gone on and probably been like, oh, let me look up something about this favorite game of mine. Then you see video essays that are like 10 hours long as they talk about every like minor detail. Whereas live streams are still more popular on Twitch because of the culture that it has. People don't really find people on YouTube through live streams alone. They find people through the rest of the content. And yet, what am I doing? I'm mostly focusing on live streams. I have crossed the wires. That's my big problem. I have completely crossed the wires. I am a live streamer now who used to be a Let's Player, where I was on the perfect platform for Let's Plays, who started to live stream more for the sake of earning money on a platform that doesn't do live streams as well as another company, Twitch. That is where Twitch is where I would be able to be found more easily as just live stream only. But YouTube is where I have the discoverability. That's the term I'm looking for. The discoverability on Twitch is better if I'm live stream only with some audience backing. So if I had you all follow me over there, that would help me out, because I don't know about a lot of you, but if I go over on Twitch, I kind of default to people that have a bit of a chat room already going. So you already feel like you're there and you're chatting not just with the person that's playing, but also the people that are there. And if there's like 2 or 3, it's like, let me check the next one. It sucks, but that's kind of the reality of it. And I know a lot of you would follow me over there. And I have a lot of you already subscribed to me over there. And that is why I have been back and forth on a subject. Should I just stick to the lanes of what each platform is good with and then use them all together to help my discoverability? Should I move over to Twitch for streams, take the VOD, and then upload it on YouTube so that the video is there for later discoverability? Should I take parts of those streams that are popular or funny and the like, edit them, make them cleaner, make them funnier, make it into a YouTube short? Should I do that? And the answer is, I probably should. I probably should. So, right now, I am going to think about if I want to do one of two things. The first thing, and I'm going to mention this for those of you that are asking questions in the live chat. There is a dedicated Q&A area in the live chat to ask your question. That way it is saved there and I can see it. So don't flood the main chat with your questions. Just leave it to regular chat. There is a Q&A section in there. Ask your question. I will get to it. I will get to it. So just don't flood it with a bazillion questions from yourself. Just ask your important questions. So back to what I was saying before. Do I want to just live stream only on Twitch and then take the VOD over and then treat YouTube as just edited, uploaded content? Or do I want to go back to multi-streaming? Because multi-streaming is back on the menu. I wouldn't use the multi-stream website that I used to use before. I would use instead, whoops. The Persona music in the background because I'm going to get to something there. would I use Stream Elements? Stream Elements has its own built into OBS multi-streaming platform, which would help because here's the other thing that's important. I mentioned this before as far as my Discord is concerned. I think I mentioned it on video as well, that I have been reached out to by a talent group for TikTok. They don't want me to do anything different than what I already do. They just want me to also stream to TikTok. So multi-streaming, I'm going to end up doing anyway. So does that mean that I'd be streaming on just Twitch as well as TikTok? Perhaps, because I have been so busy. I have been trying to set up this whole TikTok thing that even the guy that reached out to me before got in touch with me just a day ago. Was like, hey, dude, you all right? We haven't heard from you in like ages. So they are not just randos just looking at me as a number. They actually do care enough to be like, are you all right? Can we help you? So it's legit. And I am wanting to do with that because TikTok is something that I've never really done. And TikTok Live is becoming a more popular platform. And the thing about the Stream Elements multi-stream is that I can actually set up you all see all this stuff around me, right? All the blue things, blue here, chat over here, things up here. I could actually do a multi-stream where I have this whole layout different per platform. So on Twitch, I can have a different look. On YouTube, I can have a different look, which also means that on TikTok, I can have a different look and basically take all this and flip it around so it is more phone friendly. So I could do that, which makes it a lot easier. So streaming on TikTok would do, let me explain my test run on TikTok. I went on for an hour and a half playing Dead by Daylight, talking to myself. But I still put on the energy that I had, and random people came in. Some of them stayed, some of them left. But just random people came because that's what TikTok do. You scroll, and then you land on somebody. And it's like, oh, does this look interesting? And then if it's something that's curated toward them, like Dead by Daylight, then more Dead by Daylight fans see it. But random people, I had more discoverability in that hour and a half of TikTok than I have had on YouTube or on Twitch in months. So it works. It works. I'm using this mallet. It works, damn it. It works. So discoverability is something that I need to do. And it's something that's the focus. Because I've been all over the place, and you guys know I've been all over the place. I've been like, idea here, idea there. What is going on? And the truth of the matter is, follow where the people are. Follow what they're doing. And what are people doing? They're watching live streams on Twitch. They're watching short form content or maybe even live streams on TikTok. And they're watching edited, uploaded content on YouTube. Discoverability on YouTube is not from live streams. Discovery on YouTube is from uploaded content. The live streams can be uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, and it will still be there as if I still live streamed on there. So, I'm going to still figure out, and then you all will know, if I'm going to be moving all of my live stream stuff over to Twitch and TikTok, or if I'm going to just add them as a multi-stream. And I will make that announcement by the time of next month, because there are 2 games coming out next month that would be good for me to stream because of their popularity, because of the subject, and because of my attachment to them. And those 2 games are Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, which has just been announced to be releasing next month, and Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So expect those. I will be doing those. And that takes me to the next thing. If I am going to be adding these games to streams and such, then what is going on with what I'm doing right now? Yes, let us now discuss. Let us now discuss what is going on with what I am currently streaming that is currently unfinished and what the hell I actually want to do. I'm going to level with you guys. I'm not having a good time with Persona 5 Phantom X. I'm trying my best, but the gacha elements and the grindy elements are really, really draining me. Does that mean I will drop it? No, I will not drop the Phantom X. But here's the thing about the Phantom X. The Phantom X is also not done. It is not a complete game. Inevitably, I would be playing the Phantom X up to a point, and then I would have to be forced to stop because there's no more storyline content. Which means to me, I believe, at this moment, I'm going to be taking a break from the Phantom X. Figure out what I want to do, how I want to do it, but I will not drop it. I am going to put it on a hiatus. Because right now, as far as the storyline is concerned, it is only on chapter 3 or 4 right now. There's more chapters that have not yet even been released yet. So there's still time. Now, the game itself has gotten better. When this game first came out, it was slammed by reviews. Like, I have their Steam page up, hence why you heard the Persona music beforehand. They had incredibly negative reviews. Like, Persona 5 Phantom X was slammed hard. So when it first came out, everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted it when it first got announced. And when it finally came to the West, it got slammed hard, and it's because of certain mechanics, and it's mostly gacha based. I think it would be better and prudent for me to wait for them to continue to fine-tune things for the world audience before I continue. Because, as of right now, it is taking an excessively long time to do a lot of things, requiring a whole lot of grinding just to get certain things, or a whole lot of money, which I have, as you all have seen, spent several $100s on already for just a bunch of characters. Though they have come as donations from like Kato and the like, saying, here's $100, go get this character. But I don't think that's fair for anybody. I don't think that's fair for you guys. It's certainly not fair for me. I don't want to spend all this money for these characters, especially if, being a gacha game, they're eventually replaced. So, as a result, as of right now, Persona 5 X, the Phantom X, I am placing on hiatus until it continues to get refined, more content gets released, and I feel like it's a good time to jump back in. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I do not want to drown myself with Persona. Because the reason I'm dropping Phantom X is because I had to make a choice. Phantom X or Persona 3 Reload. And I am going to choose Persona 3 Reload. This is the other hard decision I had to make. Should I go with what I wanted to do and do a Let's Play, or should I go back to doing live streams with you guys? I was back and forth on this subject a lot. And there's something about the edited content that has made a lot of my stuff fun and discoverable. Those were the edits and the cutaways. They're always about 1 minute to 3 minutes long. Why not just make those as shorts? Why not just take my time playing, live streaming this with you guys, and then when there's a moment that I feel like, oh, this would be a great short, I take that clip, I pull that in, and I make a short out of it. And that could be the way I help advertise my channel. That would give you guys what you want. That would give you guys the best of both worlds. That would give you guys the ability to play the game with me. You can play the game with me, I can react, we can commentary, we can have fun together, but when I see something that I want to do, such as Monarame's Plagiarism Farm, I will then do my classic cutaways. And I will make a YouTube short, and then that will do two things. It will, one, give you guys those edits that you still know and love, but also it'll turn it into something that can have some discoverability. And the reason I think that's probably the best thing to do is because of the state of Let's Plays right now. The Let's Play has pretty much died. Maybe not died. It has gotten older. It has grown old. There are several video essays and discussions and such right now that quite literally talks about why Let's Plays are dying off. And the reason Let's Plays are dying off are because of what I mentioned before. There's a new audience on YouTube right now. There's a new audience in general. And this is an audience of people that want rapid fire content or extremely long form content. Let's Plays sit in the middle where it is somebody wants to sit down and they want to watch essentially a TV show. But not a lot of people are doing that anymore. When you look for Let's Plays of things, I have checked. There are only a very few amount of Let's Play channels that are still around. There's very few people that start with them that actually rise to something. There is a shift. Patient one, hey, thank you so much. Can't stay the whole time and can't do much right now, but I'll always support you, boss. Do what makes you happiest and keeps you healthiest. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. That's kind of what we're talking about here. What's going to make me happiest? What's going to make me healthiest? But what's also going to give you guys what you want? And I find that you guys want both. You want to have that interaction with me, but you also miss those funny little edits. And I miss those funny little edits too. But it's more natural for me now to sit down, have you guys in chat, warm up by talking with you guys. And it doesn't change my commentary. It doesn't change anything. I still can do the same thing as if it were a Let's Play. All that's different is that it's live and you guys are watching it. So why should I separate that when I can do what people want the most on both ends? The interactivity with me, the fun with me, while also having the skits. Naraki says, I'd highly suggest dropping Persona 5 and Persona 3. Its time has come and gone. Time to look to new projects. People will get mad, but oh well. Do as you wish. As a friend, I merely offer this suggestion. Here's the thing. I already want to play Persona 3. I already want to do that. The only reason I haven't is because I've been forcing myself not to touch it unless it was on camera, unless it was on YouTube. I have actually missed a lot of games because I have forced myself to not play it unless it was with you guys. Did you know I still haven't finished Resident Evil 8? I still have not finished Resident Evil 8. The farthest I've gotten into Resident Evil 8 was I beat Dimitrescu, and that was it. 3/4 of that game I've not played myself. And now I've been spoiled on all of it. I know about the demon baby. I know about the Heisenberg fight. I know about a lot of it. Because years went by. I don't want that to happen with Resident Evil 9. I don't want that to happen with Resident Evil 9. My time with Silent Hill F has shown me that you guys are perfectly happy with me playing horror games as long as they're like the big named big AAA horror games that almost everybody can get into. It's more so like the smaller, really stop your heart jump scary indie games that a lot of you aren't into, but I still love those. But you guys still like the Resident Evil stuff. You guys had a lot of fun with Resident Evil 4, right? You did. So I think that there is a point to be made about just dropping previous projects and moving on. Persona 5 Royal, Persona 3 Reload. But here's the thing. I still want to play Reload, so I might as well still play it with you guys. But this is why I've decided that I'm just going to do it as a live stream again, instead of a Let's Play. But I will go back to making those little fun edits, whatever creativity hits me, because that's the same thing. I'm doing a Let's Play. I'm just doing a Let's Play live. So what's the difference? I just take the gameplay, just do my voiceover of it, and put in the clip. Everybody sees something funny. So why not? Why not do that? So Persona 5 Royal is a little different because I was doing that with Bun. Because here's the thing about Royal. Royal has new stuff in it, but most of Royal's new stuff is at the end of the game. So when I was doing Royal with Bun, so much of the same that I was getting bored. Even though that we had banter, I was getting bored. It's like I'm playing this again, and I feel like I just finished playing the original. I was bored. I was bored. I couldn't do it because that is also what's kept me from getting back to it up to this point. But I'll talk a little bit more about that because I know people have asked questions about what's going on with Royal. I do want to play Royal because I do want to see the new stuff. It's just the slog of going through the same stuff to get to the new stuff. So I might do Royal a little differently, but I will be getting back to that. But right now, I got way off subject. We're getting back on subject, and then we'll go back to the Q&As that I will be dropping, postponing Persona 5 X for the time being until more content comes out. They refine a bit more of it, and I feel like I have more time dedicated to that because I'm just doing too much. So as of right now, do not expect any more Phantom X content, especially for the fact that it has not been doing well on my channel anyway. The first 2 episodes or so were great, and then viewership plummeted. That's another reason why I decided to drop it right now, because a lot of people were just like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, so I'm not going to watch it anymore. Understandable. So, sorry, but that is how we're going to go. Metaphor. I ain't done with Metaphor yet, and I want to be done with Metaphor. We're nearing the end because we have just... Captain's Log, Year 3, me and the chat have been stuck on the island of Antria for all this time. Please send help. No, we are finally leaving that fucking island. We have one more event. I already know what event it is because, again, the game is like a year and a half old right now, and that stuff just hits my eyes eventually. We have a party on the island, and then we fucking leave. And then when we fucking leave, we go and take on Luis. And then there's more stuff after that. And then there's more Luis stuff. But still, we're getting... Metaphor ain't being dropped. We're getting back into Metaphor. We're finishing that shit. Okay? We are finishing that shit. We're finishing Metaphor. We're getting back into Metaphor. That's what I'm getting back to starting next week. We're going back to Metaphor. So, gavel hit. Metaphor coming back. We're finishing Metaphor. Final Fantasy VII. We're finishing Final Fantasy VII, even though it's not popular on this channel whatsoever. I still don't understand why, but we are finishing Final Fantasy VII as well because, damn it, I want Cloud and Tifa to kiss. Damn it, they're getting on that fucking Ferris wheel, and they're gonna make out up there. They're gonna have babies, and those babies are gonna be adorable. They are going to kiss. Damn it, unless it's somehow we got Aerith. But I'm pretty sure it's Tifa that we got. But I'm pretty sure that some of you will be happy if it's Aerith. But I'm aiming for Tifa, damn it. So we're going to finish up Final Fantasy VII as well. And then we will finally have a bit of a clean slate. So the schedule right now is going to be Friday, Final Fantasy Friday, Metaphor on Saturday, D&D on Sunday. Now, that is going to be starting next week, so I need to make sure I get all of that set up. By the time that Poppy Playtime and Resident Evil come out, Team Chest Sweat?
Hello there. I'd like to
Team Chest Sweat? I mean, yeah, Tifa's active. She's gonna be, like, sweaty. Team Chest... Anyway. That threw me off. What am I talking about? What's going on? Where am I? Oh yeah. Okay. So, having this mallet here was a bad idea. I'm hitting everything with it. I'm hitting myself with it. Clouded Berry. Oh god. Okay. I need to focus. Focus. Ow. Wrong side. This is the rubber end. Focus. Ow, that still hurts. Focus. Okay. So, I'll be getting to the Q&A stuff here soon, so make sure you get your questions in. Now, Poppy Playtime Resident Evil 9. Poppy Playtime, no doubt, is going to be kind of short. When that comes out, in order to make enough time, I'm probably going to do a week special. I'm probably going to do a week special of Poppy Playtime, get that done. Because this is going to be highly dependent on what else I'm doing, okay? Because this is highly dependent on what else is going on, because some games I gotta just strike when the iron's hot, and here is the other big issue. I do a lot of games that are very, very, very long. And as a result of those games being very, 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 very long, streaming them only one night a week means that we have a Persona or a Metaphor situation where the game has been out and its hype has died down long before I'm even done with it. So, this is what I'm thinking about doing from here on. If it is a game that I know is going to be short and really, really hype, then I'll do it only a couple of nights a week and it'll eventually be done in the future. But if it's a long game, it's an RPG, then those I am going to start adding Thursday into the mix, and we are focusing on that game and that game only Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week. We're doing one game at a time, because that game is going to take a fuck ton of time to get through, and it's just a better idea to focus on it instead of just one night where it's just 4 hours a night, and then people that are interested have already played it and beaten it before I got to the end of chapter 1. So, yeah, so that is something I've been thinking about doing for the longest time, and it just has to work that way. I have to focus on one game at a time if it's long. If it's short, I can maybe split it up a little bit. And I am in control of my own schedule. What's preventing me from adding some nights? If I want to, I can do it just like I did in October. Why not? So if I want to finish up a game early so I can get it done and out of the way when it's still hype, I will do so. I will announce it far ahead of time so you all are prepared for it, but I will do it ahead of time, and I'll do it in short form, not a short term, a week, whatever. So I'm probably going to do that with Resident Evil 9 as well, because need to strike when the iron's hot. Metaphor, the train's already passed on that one. People that are interested in Metaphor are already waiting for me to do it anyway, so they will just wait for it again. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII. That, yeah. New games, when the hype is up, I need to strike when it's hot, and I can't let it die out. So I need to do them quickly. So that is the plan for any new game release that I really, really want to play. I am going to do it where I'm not dragging it out for so long that everybody gets bored, including myself. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. What about Pirate Yakuza? You can ask that in the Q&A and I'll tell you about it. We covered a lot of stuff already. How long? We've been here for an hour, me talking to you guys about my ideas and such. So I will be getting to the actual Q&A part here very, 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 very soon. So, but there is one more thing that I want to discuss. And it is a subject that not many of you care about. But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because some of you might be interested. Dungeons and Dragons! And I see this the viewer go 54, 34, 10. Only 10 people are watching. Okay. No, just kidding. Dungeons and Dragons. You all know I have a campaign that I run on Sundays that I live stream on my Dungeons and Dragons specific channel because I didn't want it to drown out the content that I make on this channel because that apparently is a thing. And I didn't want that to happen. That would ruin my discoverability. Dungeons and Dragons. So it's kind of become a little bit of a new hyperfixation of mine. I am kind of addicted to it right now. I run my game on Sunday, and we are now on year 4 of it. We're nearing its end. I have joined a combat-focused game that runs on Mondays in the early afternoon from 1 to 4 my time. And I play as an NPC from the campaign that I run on Sundays. For those of you that know, it is the character of Tsunami, the fairy. So that has got me in the mood of, well, I would like to also play a game that, does some role-playing instead of just combat. So I've also joined a game that starts on Saturday with Thunderlion, and that's going to be starting in February. But that's not what I want to talk to you guys about. What I want to talk to you guys about is that there is apparently a website where you could be a dungeon master as a job, as you could actually get paid to be a dungeon master. And I have found that there's a lot of people there that have been DMing as long as I have. There have been people there that DMing a much, much, much longer time, and some that do it a short amount of time. But what it does is that people pay per session, and the problem with D&D is that you can get all kinds of people. You get all kinds of people. You get people that love to roleplay. You get people that are really invested. You get people that show up every week. You get people that care. And then you get people who don't. People who don't show up. People who don't care. People who don't take it seriously. People who don't roleplay. People who are very cringe. What this website's meant to do is basically put your money where your mouth is and to give it your all, because if you're not a good DM, you make no money. If you're not a good player, then they're going to kick you out, or else you're also just spending money to do nothing. And the whole idea has me interested, and I'm just like, I'm still not amazing at DMing yet, but I gotta say, I have seen and also been with some DMs that are not fun. And I even feel look at them like, these are DMs that have been around for a while. I feel like I do better than they do. I still make mistakes, but I'm at least trying to have fun. And that made me think, I'm not making a whole fuck ton of money right now doing streams at the moment. I gotta supplement my income a little bit. Why not try this? Literally, 1 session a week would pay for groceries. 2 sessions a week would pay for some bills. 3 sessions a week, it's basically a job at that point. And some people do 5, 6, 7 sessions a week or a session every day. And it's like D&D is their entire lives and they actually make a living wage. I can't do that because I have you guys and YouTube to do. But as supplementary and doing something that I enjoy, why not? Something I'm looking into. And I'm thinking, I don't want to start too big like my very first campaign with my Sunday group. How about maybe like short campaigns to teach people? Run a game that teaches people 5e. A short campaign that lasts only a few weeks. Like for my original campaign, run essentially just a campaign of Black Dog Bruno. Just, he's the main antagonist. And just they go in, they save a town from these pirates. And that's like 5 sessions in. Boom, they get an idea of how D&D works. Session over. Or maybe turn Wintervale into its own arc. Turning Wintervale into its own thing, or turning Zidoria into its own thing. And basically take things that I did for my campaign as one big thing, but just take the chapters and make them just a campaign on itself to teach people. Not like one-shots, those are those are like singular or 1 or even 2 games. But not exactly one-shots, more like short campaigns, things that last only 1 to 3 months long. To teach people how to play, to get them comfortable with how the game works, so that they too can go out and enjoy something that is really honestly very fun. Because the world sucks right now, and it is so much more fun to go out into an imaginary world that is full of fantasy, magic, dragons, pirates, or hell, sci-fi, or even modern fantasy if you want, and just have fun. Play a character. Do some crazy heroic stuff. And just, yeah, like a D&D training course. Until I get comfortable enough to actually start running bigger campaigns like I do on Sunday. So that is what I'm going to be doing. And when I finally muster up the courage to finally do that, I know we have told you before, but you certainly could turn specific parts of our campaign into campaign modules or other stuff of equal size. Yeah, because I did kind of turn our campaign into like multiple adventures into one giant campaign. So they all can be individually placed. It's just remove Bicus and the pirates and your individual villains and just have it be that. So everything in the Feywild with the Drowned King, everything with Zidoria and Zirian, everything in Wintervale and Solus, the bishop, and the whole thing at the start with Bruno. Those could be individual adventures, just shorter. And because I have all kinds of stuff with them, and I'm thinking that would be a great way to get people introduced as far as a homebrew setting, because I'm not comfortable with modules. I'm more like, I want full control over all this, because modules scare me, even though they're supposed to be easy, because like, I need to follow this exactly. No, you can do anything that you want, but it's all written like this. But at the same time, what I do is basically making a module. Whatever. So I bring this up because if and when I do this, not if I do this, when I do this, because I am going to do this, anybody here that is even remotely interested at the slightest that wants to participate, I will be more than happy to bring you in. If you are a member of my channel, you will be, of course, discounted. I will not charge fully for people who already support me in other ways. That would be crazy. So if you're already part of the channel, if you're already a member, I will discount you heavily. And I think those that are like super boss level and such, like they get some free sessions and such, something like that. But yeah, I intend to do something like that. And chances of it happening late at night versus during the middle of the day, I don't know. We will see. I'm going to have to base it on what is going on, not just in my life, but what is going on in your lives. Right now, Bud and I play Final Fantasy XIV together. We also have a date night once a week. Those are never changing. But we get done with Final Fantasy in about a few hours. Now, I cook, so I have to always step away to do some cooking. That takes a couple hours sometimes, depending on what I'm making. So I always have to dedicate some time every day to certain things. So once I figure out a bit of a schedule, then what I will do is I will go on this website, which is called Start Playing, by the way. The website's called Start Playing. And I will make an account, and then I will announce it to everybody. And that those who are interested can sign up and join. And I will teach you the basics throughout the gameplay. So that way you never have to feel nervous at any point, because I've been there. We've all been there. And it will help encourage you to learn not just the game, but also maybe open up a little bit. Like if you're shy, but you want to break out of that a little bit, roleplay is a great way to do that. And it also helps with creative thinking around certain subjects. So instead of being like presented with something with an obvious solution, just be like, what do you have at your disposal? How would you, here's a wall. You're at a wall. You need to traverse the wall. None of you can fly. None of you know the spell fly, but you must traverse the wall. How do you traverse it? Or do you traverse it at all? Do you decide to go a different route? Do you get help? Do you use magic? Do you use your martial status? Do you climb it? Do you go through it? Do you blow a hole into it? The choice is yours. Roll some dice, see what happens. So I will be doing that. So I think that I'm going to be preparing for something like that starting around February or March. I just need to kind of get things going, because right now, since I've already joined some of these other campaigns, I want to kind of make sure that I have the right time set, okay? And by doing that, everything will be all good, clean, clear, ready to go. I also have to worry about the next big campaign that I'm going to be doing, because a lot of people from my Sunday group are interested in me doing another game once this one's over. And I am intending to do a bit more smaller scale as far as just overall like chapters and such, but still a big, fun homebrew campaign that has a little bit less of like breakups and more of just one big overarching story, tying it all together. But I'm already thinking about those. So I'm already working on a new homebrew world for that. That's going to be taking place in the past of my Sunday campaign, about 500 years. So I kind of like the world that I've been building, and I want to keep expanding on it. The world of the Raven, as it were. I still need to name it, but yeah. So anyway, so that is the last bit of information. So if any of you are interested in learning D&D or even unrusting and taking part in a shorter, more focused chapter of one of my Sunday campaign major chapters, I'll be more than happy to do that. And Naraku 100 plus characters and rising with every waking week. Oh man. You'd like to join my next campaign? Look, my next campaign that's going to replace Sunday's campaign won't be for like another year. So if you'd like to join in a campaign, wait until I make the announcement about the Start Playing thing, and then we'll go over the details, all right? So anybody that's interested, wait until I make that announcement, and then I'll be more than happy to take you through and have a nice little slice of your own adventure. Now, right now, I think I have covered everything of what has been happening over the past several months, what my plans are, what I intend to do going forward as far as the channel is concerned, which, recap, I'm going to be going back to Twitch a bit more. I'm going to be taking VODs and editing those to put up on YouTube, and I will be determining whether I want to do stream on Twitch only or if I want to multi-stream, and I will be taking some bits that I think are the funniest or the more interesting and turn those into edited content, turn those into shorts like you all loved over the years that I have made, all those little cutaway gags and the like. So that is that. So, right now, I am going to take a small break, a very small break, just so I can wash my face and stuff. We're going to go into the Q&A session, okay? So if you have any questions about me, about the channel, about D&D, about something that I might play, something that I haven't played, something that I'm not sure about, I don't know, whatever questions that you want to ask me, please do it in the Q&A session, and I will go through them all. Do not drown me with questions. And what I mean by that is that if you're like, hi, I'm Bob, and I have 20 questions for you. I'm going to ask 20 questions for you. Please don't. I would say limit it to maybe like three per person, because some questions I can answer briefly, some are going to take a while, who knows, but limit it to 3. So the 3 most important things in your mind, because who knows, somebody might have already asked the question. So I'll be right back, and we will start going through the Q&A.
Riding up until the day I meet you, I'm riding up. I look up in the skies, asking out a while, but never let it faze me. I'm keeping good vibes when I'm on the road. Watch out for all surprises. What it provides is good and bad, but nothing ties.
Another one day in the night, let me paint the view, color down with my light. For every moment share with you, not in the day, but never fully gone. Going to be back again until the coming over down.
For the days ahead of us, put your hands up, wave it side to side for good luck. For the nights like this, put your hands up. Love the moment even from dusk. Yo, you always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that now. It's been a good day, good night. It's gonna be a good day, good night. Nothing comes between us, dancing like ballerinas under the moonlight all night long. How these plain and simple scenes get painted so vividly by you. I just wanna stay with you.
And the world is slowly dance whenever our eyes meet. You know you leave me in a trance. It means everything to me looking down below. The one I seek to find, no matter where you might go. Remember you'll be on my mind.
Always watching over me, somehow you make me feel invisible. Power to my soul, yeah. Easy things that used to bother me.
All right, I told you guys it'd be short. Got myself a here's a bit of a funny story that I'm going to get into while you guys are still asking questions. But when Bud and I went down to Banff for our yearly Christmas kind of excursion, because there's a Christmas market that happens that we'd like to go and get gifts for people and also support local communities. We stayed in a hotel, and this hotel had a vending machine. We go in, get everything. I'm thirsty. I'm like, okay, I got to go get a drink from the vending machine. I go, and I'm like, you know what? Powerade's probably good for me because I've been driving for a while. I've had energy drinks and sodas. Let me get something that is a little bit more hydrating. And fuck just water by itself. No, I'm gonna have Powerade because healthy decisions, right? But I go and hit the button to find out how much it costs. It said 10 cents. I'm thinking, there's something not right here. I check other drinks. $3, $4. Okay, why does this one say 10 cents? That seems very odd. put in the dollar. Shows a dollar. Hit this. Drink comes out. Shows I have 90 cents left. Hit the button again. Another drink comes out. 80 cents left. I'm like, oh my God, they glitched it. It's 10 cents a Powerade. So I'm hitting the button and it ate, I think, 2 of my selections, but that's still a steal because I managed to walk away with 8 Powerades for less than $1. We had Powerades all weekend long. We were bathing in the stuff. So this is the last one. This is the last one from that. I told no one. I told Bun. I was like, maybe I'll tell the hotel staff because they're nice. I never did. I'm just like, button, drink, because the vending machine probably doesn't even belong to the hotel. It probably belongs to somebody else who rents that spot for their vending machine. It's like, sir, you are going to have yourself a bit of a problem with the cost of these drinks until you realize something. So, a little bit of a fun thing. All right. We have 54 people here. Nice big turnout for right now. I used to believe that if my turnout was anything less than like 80 or 90, then I was failing. I can't tell you guys how wrong I was because 56 is a lot of people. I go on like Twitch and I see people with big followings and like they're big streamers. They are big streamers and they have like 50 people watching. Like, so I'm okay. It's only like the biggest of the big names that have over 100, but like for the average popular streamer, this is about as much as they get to. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. So nice little boost to the confidence. So all right, Q&A session. That is incorrect. It's because it's over here. That is wrong. Excuse me a second. Excuse me one moment. I'm having some slight technical difficulties because I'm a dum-dum. There we go. I want to be able to see both the chat and the questions at the same time. All right. Oh, I guess before I do anything else, let me go back to like super chats. Okay, so I'm gonna go over all the super chats first. All the messages. Like, so first from Cody Black, I did see his. Now there was one from Limitless Neo. Welcome back, boss. I can finally use my sub to you. Happy 2026 despite the BS happening. Thank you so much, Limitless Neo. I hope you're doing all right too. From Lightbane, in the beginning there was the word, and the word was Ryuji! Yes, the clip that brought me 1,000 subs. All because that one guy did a compilation of reactions to Ryuji mouthing off being a Phantom Thief. That was the moment that brought me in some new faces. So I got to give that guy some props for doing that, because there are many of you that came in just because of that. Ryuji, you idiot! Sozo, I'm so high on life right now. But being high on life is good. Being high on life is good. Skylar, gotchas are like trading card games. Everything gets swapped in the meta. Exactly. So that's why I'm a little bit like, eh. I saw the one from Patient One. Again, thank you very much, Patient One. I saw the one from Naraku about dropping Persona 5 and Persona 3. I'm definitely not dropping Persona 3. I'm going to be getting back into that. It's more so what I want to do with Persona 5, and I'll get more into that. I'm sure that people have asked. Let's see. The era from Eric. The era of Let's Plays has changed and evolved to an era of live streams and shorts. Exactly. I have to adapt. I have to do that. I can't try to change things. I have to move on with newer audiences, because if I stick with just the old audience, that's the only people that it's going to watch. I need to bring in new people. So that's why I have, after so much back and forth over the years, I have just made the final decision that I am going to go along with the tide. Insight, does this mean you might play Dead Space? I might. I might indeed. There is the Dead Space remake that I've still not played. But Dead Space never really scared me. I thought it was fun. It didn't scare me, but it was fun. And I never played the remake, even though I do own it. Let's see. Things that I've still missed. Clockwork Sin. That's why I do LARPing, to be in a different world. Exactly. And LARPing, live action roleplay, is no different than role-playing in D&D or text-based roleplay. It's roleplay. Eric signed me up. He's interested in the D&D. Let's see. Tevin Blair. So are you planning on having shorts on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok to help make extra funds for you and Bun? I definitely think you should designate certain streams to different platforms I'm in. Something like that. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that. Kind of, sort of. I'll see what is best for me. All I know is that I need to get a bigger presence on Twitch. TikTok is going to help me as well. And I need to start treating YouTube as YouTube. I need to start treating these platforms as they are and make them all come together to work together rather than trying to put all my eggs in one basket. Because all my eggs in one basket has not been working, especially since I've been only putting a single egg in the basket, and that was streams. And YouTube as stream only is never going to beat Twitch as stream only. YouTube as a kind of an all everything will beat Twitch. So I need to start doing more work on YouTube for YouTube stuff. Yeah. So, from Naraku, welcome to the Powerade Gang. Fruity drinks for cheap. 10 cents a pop. Alpha Dragon, what maybe some to you was the Akechi rant. I lulled so much. Even though that the Akechi rant got me a lot of hate, most people were okay with it. But from what I understand, Royal has royally affected and altered and changed the Akechi storyline to a more understandable and reasonable and forgiving storyline. So the thing is that people know I didn't see that yet. I've been spoiled on plenty now, but I'm going to do my best to still be surprised at certain points. But I will say that I understand now. And that rant, as funny as many of you think it is, now I look at it as, yeah, that was a mistake. It was a mistake because I didn't know any better. I do know now, and knowing what I know now, that whole rant doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, it is what it is. It's there because at the time it felt right to me. And I don't want to erase something, even if it was viewed negatively, because that was still a part of who I was. Now that we're caught up on all of that, we can finally get to the questions, and there's quite a bit. There are quite a bit. So, all right, we're starting off with something that is completely and utterly not related to anything that we talked about. What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? Kung Fu Panda 2. I love Kung Fu Panda, and I love Kung Fu Panda 2 the most. I love that one so much. So, yeah. I won't go too much into details, but it has my favorite villain of all the movies. It's in a nice spot where he's not learning and not master. He's just there's some from Streamlabs that I missed. I'll get to those. Hold on. Let me actually pull up my stream labels, because I'm not using my feed for that. Give me a moment and I will see. There's one. Yeah, 2 from Lightbane. Lightbane, Team Cloudy Italy forever? Is Italy always cloudy? I mean, I know that Europe has some cloudy days, but I figured that cloudy days being more of an England thing, United Kingdom thing. Italy, I imagine to be kind of sunny, if anything, being right there in the Mediterranean. And there's also a roll to intimidate nat 20 wall moves aside in fear. No, I don't do crit successes because, and I mean, if your 20 leads to a success, regardless, then sure, I will do something silly, but it needs to make sense unless it doesn't make that much of a problem. Like the character of Kaylee just unlocking a lock. It's like, I'm not going to have a whole wall move for her. I'm just going to have the door open in fear. So, something like that. So, not exactly an entire wall. But, I think, yeah, those are all of them. Okay. So, there you go. Thank you, Lightbane. Thank you, Lightbane. Yeah, thank you for the Streamlabs ones, because those ones are direct donations, so YouTube doesn't get a cut. Those are direct to me. So, thank you. I get 100% of those. Thank you so much. All right. So, favorite triggers were we? Kung Fu Panda 2. Alicia, hi, Kagato. Resident Evil 9, are you playing it first person or third? I am playing it first person because first person I found to be far more fun than third person. Yes, third person is good. Third person is a good camera angle. But first person has reinvigorated my love for Resident Evil. Especially since I like to play it in VR. I am one of those suckers that still has hopes for VR. I still have hopes for it. I really, truly want to succeed, but people are just not doing well with it. So, I will enjoy it for as long as I can. When Resident Evil 9 inevitably gets its own VR version, I will play that. But right now, I still enjoy playing it in first person. Especially because I believe that it does engross me in it a lot more that way. Third person's still good, don't get me wrong. Third person over the shoulder is still very engrossing. It's still very, very good. But first person will make me feel a little bit more invested. A little bit more into it, you know? So I will be doing that. Let's see. Unless there's like a massive outcry to please turn it off, please go to third person, otherwise we won't watch you. And if that's the case, I'll be like, okay, fine. Now I'm going to play this again later as first person, but I will start first person. All right, Amanda, I know you don't want to, but would you like to do a 2v8 DVD recording session? No pressure on you, boss man. It's actually funny that you mentioned that because I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. And when I say I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, I mean I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. If I have private time, it's dedicated to one of three things. I'm either working on D&D, I am either watching something on YouTube, or I'm playing DBD. So much Dead by Daylight. So much Dead by Daylight. And the reason I'm okay with it is because if I move back over to Twitch, I want to just stream my Dead by Daylight games just when I'm just chilling out playing it on Twitch. Because I see no reason not to. It'll get some people interested in my content. It's just that I won't have dedicated videos popping up as VODs on my YouTube channel because most of my YouTube audience is not interested in Dead by Daylight. But all I have to do is just change a couple of settings over on Twitch, go live, do that, have some fun. People can come by if they want to, watch what I'm doing. When I'm done, it's fine. So, yeah, I see no reason why I shouldn't gather up 8 of you chuckle fucks and do some 2v8 with, like, the entirety of my Dead by Daylight fans on this platform. Will you stream Dusk Fade? I have no idea what that is. So, yes, no, maybe? I have no idea what Dusk Fade is. What's your favorite Lego game? Never played any Lego games. So, I don't have one. Sorry. What's your best gaming moment? My best gaming moment probably has to do something with Smash Brothers. I won a tournament. It was a small tournament. It was an online tournament. There's that. Though there was something during one of the team leagues where I went up against one of the higher ranked players at the time, who was an Inkling player, and I actually won. Bowser might have gotten a lot of updates in Smash Ultimate, but that game is just so bonkers crazy that even with Bowser being as fast and powerful and flexible as he is, there's a bazillion others that are even more so. So a lot of that, a lot of Smash moments, but I'm almost certain that most of my best moments are very likely to do with some of the games that I've streamed. I just don't remember a whole lot of them. I do know the big one, Ryuji, you idiot. But man, I can't really remember like there was a big moment like that's like, this is it. But as far as like my own personal experience, like not even on stream or anything, just for me, the biggest time was finishing Persona 4 for the first time. That brought me to tears. And when Yu Narukami left, it felt like I was leaving. Like I was so connected to these characters on such a level because I was pretty lonely back then. And Persona 4 made me feel like I had friends, even if they were digital. So that's why Persona 4 has such an important place in my heart. So beating that game and experiencing that story and then going back and doing it again and then going back and doing it again and then Golden comes out and I do it again with more stuff and more stuff all spread out instead of like tacked on the end like Royal, which should have been DLC, whereas Golden was a full-on remake and then they're remaking it again. And it's like, I don't think anything's going to beat Persona 4 as my favorite game of all time at this point. Metaphor tried, but there were some moments that was like, you know what? I like Metaphor a lot, but it's not Persona 4. It's still a great game, though. So, yeah. All right. Moving on. Eric, have you and Bun begun to settle in your new... Well, I mean, kind of. Like I mentioned, my room is still a mess. I've got to put things away, but for the most part, we are kind of getting settled. We wanted to adopt a cat. And we are still going to adopt a cat, but it's going to happen later than we wanted to because we just realized that there's going to be a point where we're going to be having to fly back down to the United States to get the rest of my stuff that was in my room. Remember when I was doing the streams back in Georgia and you saw all those like figurines and lights and all that? All that's still in North Carolina in a storage facility with my sister. Because I couldn't take them up with me. I didn't have enough room. So I'm going to need to go down, get all that stuff, and then come back up. And that's going to be like 2 weeks to do that. And we don't want to have to worry about a cat being comfortable on the ride or leaving them with someone because we don't really have a lot of close friends up here yet. And we also don't really want to leave a cat in a shelter for like 2 weeks. So we're going to wait until after we do that. And then probably around that time is going to be when we're looking at a final, well, not exactly a final place, but a house to live in. It might not be our forever home, but it'll be a house because I'll have 2 years of tax information, which is what they need for me to be able to get a mortgage on a house. So a house is in our future. And then we'll be able to have dogs, cats, birds, rabbits, snakes, lizards, iguanas. Iguanas are lizards, penguins are birds, cows. I'm a cow. I'm a cow man. Milk. I like milk. Wait for the tea. Let's see. Is Metaphor coming back? Yes, I've already mentioned earlier on that Metaphor is coming back. Do not worry. Lightbane, want to play Expedition 33? I still haven't played that, and I do want to play it. But there's a bit of a problem with that. See, I kind of found a different game that I'm a little bit fixated on right now that I'm having a blast with, and that's Octopath Traveler 0. So I've been kind of in that, and I also kind of want to go back and play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and there's some other games that I also want to play, and Clair Obscur is one of them, but I got things to do, and there's also a bunch of horror games I also want to play, and lots of classic games I also want to play. I'll eventually get to Clair Obscur. If enough people on like members vote for it for me to play, like as a member's choice, then I'll play it during a member's choice, because we're going to be going back to members' choices more often as a main thing once we get past the games that I'm currently trying to play, which are Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Public Playtime, Resident Evil 9 next month. So once all those are done and we've kind of cleared things out, I will have a membership night or a membership vote to see what I play next. And if Clear Obscure gets on there, well, then I'm doing Clear Obscure. So, how did the channel get its name in the first place, and any future projects for this year? So, the final boss, Kagato, the final boss. Kagato is a name of... I mentioned this story before, but not everybody has been here since the dawn of the dinosaurs when I first started doing YouTube a good 15 years ago. Kagato is the name of a villain from the anime series Tenchi Muyo. This is back when Toonami was a thing, and I was growing up as a young impressionable teen, and I was watching this show that was a harem anime that had moments of drinking, swearing, violence, and nudity that Toonami picked up and decided, yeah, we're going to just censor all that, but we're going to keep everything else. So I'm like, okay, so you should try to dispatch, you finish it too. I have. I'll get to that though. So Kagato was one of the villains. I love the name. I thought the name was interesting. I've never heard it before, even amongst Japanese content. The name of Kagato, you don't find anywhere except in two places. Tenchi Muyo and me. That's it. That's how unique that name is. So I picked up that name, and I have been a big fan of using that name, and I will probably forever use that name. So right now, I've used that name for so long that I answer to both that and my real name of Logan. Even Bun still calls me Kagato. Probably, I don't think she ever really calls me Logan. I think she only calls me Kagato. So that's just my other name now. But it's fine. And the final boss came from when I first got into more competitive Smash, and I joined a website, and I main as Bowser because it's Bowser. Bowser is my favorite character of anything of all time. So Bowser is a villain and a final boss in most anything he's in. So me playing as Bowser in Smash Brothers, showing off how good I am at the game at the time, a lot of people in that forum started to see me as one of the more legitimate threats at the time. And then one guy was like, he's the final boss of this website. And I like that. I'm going to keep it. So Kagato, the final boss, became a thing. And that is why the channel is the name that it is, Kagato, the final boss. Wait, Logan's your real name? Logan is my real name, yes. Logan is my real name. All right. And any future projects for this year? Well, there's the few that I've already mentioned, the Public Playtime and Resident Evil 9. As far as after that, who knows? It could go anywhere, man. Because I have to follow trends, what's popular, but I also want to do what I like to do. And I also want to do what you guys like to do. So I'm following three things. What I want, what you want, and what's popular. What I can say is that there will be some yearly things that always remain. And that is October is spooky month. And anything that I'm doing drops and is just replaced by horror games in the month of October. That doesn't mean I will only do horror games in October. It's just, let me rephrase that. October will not be the only time that I do horror games. I will do horror games all throughout the year if I want to do them. It's just that October is guaranteed, and it's also a big celebration where almost every single day, minus 1 day of rest, 1 day of streaming whatever is popular at the time, and 1 day of D&D. So that's essentially 4 days a week of just straight up horror content every single week. And that could be multiple games in a night, could be one game, who knows. And it also could change, but you can always count on October for that. Anything else, though, it's going to depend on what comes out and what you guys want to see. Because there's a whole bunch of there's a bunch of games that I have now that I played or I haven't even played that some of you might want to see, some of you might not want to see. Donkey Kong Bonanza was brought up a few times. I played and finished that, but the hype on that's kind of over. So now people are asking for it anymore. So it depends. Metroid Prime 4 came out. The hype for that's already done. I don't even own the game yet. I want to, but the hype for that's done. What's the hype game right now? No, one was called Dispatch. That's a hype game. I played it, I finished that. I played it 1.5 times. I haven't finished my second playthrough. But it's fun. I love it. I love Dispatch. If you guys want to see me do Dispatch, I will be more than happy to do Dispatch. But it's more so watching more so than playing, because there is some gameplay stuff, but it's like big long cutscene, a couple of choices, a little bit of gameplay. Big long cutscene. It's almost like watching a Netflix series with some gameplay involved. But it's good. It's fun. I love it. I love those characters. I want to see more of them. I want more Dispatch. Resident Evil 9, Pub and Playtime, big popular things coming out next month. They're going to be big time. So there's going to be a lot of that going forward. The only project I can 110% guarantee will be a Let's Play. Guaranteed. From day one until its completion. And it'll probably be my last fully dedicated Let's Play is Persona 4 Revival. That, to me, will be my kind of bowing out of Let's Plays for a while. Not bowing out of being content creation, but like a fully dedicated from start to finish Let's Play. Because I owe it to that being my favorite game of all time being remade again. And since I tried to do it with Golden and I got a little bit over something, I went a little too far with Golden, using anime stuff and even dubbing my own voice in an anime cutscenes to try and get it to be like some weird amalgamation of story beats. It was fun as fuck to do, but man, oh man, the copyright strikes so bad that they literally went in and started muting some areas of these episodes to where they were no longer watchable. That's why the whole thing is down. That's why you can't even see them anymore. So we will see. That I can say for sure, but that's a couple of years from now. Still a couple of years from now. So stick around till then. All right. Any future plans for the channel, such as new features or new plans for videos, like more live streams and compilations? I've already answered that. But of course, this came before I probably even got that, so they probably didn't know. So, yeah. So you already know by now what I plan to do that. So thank you very much for the question nonetheless, but you know the answer to now. You still miss Persona 4 Golden. I will see what I can do, and I keep on mentioning that I will see what I can do. Honestly, at this point, there's a bazillion different ways I can do it. I've just been lazy. You know what? Give me some time on that one. Give me a little time on that one. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna finally do something. Give me a little time on that one. Anyway, test question. That's when I was like, hey, is it still working? All right. From, let's see. Oh, and those questions that I just answered from Gabe Brown, Lightbane, Dragonflies, Blade, and Falconer. Let's see. From Lurid9508. Again, I'm only getting these names, so if I knew you as your username once before, I'm so sorry that they decided to stop using those. YouTube, right? So, out of all your rants you've done, which one's your favorite? It's the burger rant. We all know it's the burger rant. It will always be the burger rant. It will never not be the burger rant. The burger rant is the one. I would say the Akechi rant if it weren't for the fact that I've been proven wrong on that one. But the burger rant, I have not been proven wrong on. There's no reason why you should ever cut a chunk of meat out of your burger or anything to see if juices come out, because the whole idea is to lock the juices in. You do not cut holes in your meat to check for doneness. You use meat thermometers. You use, hell, it's not accurate, but you can do the press test. You can just see how cooked it looks from flipping it. You don't need to open up and check in the burger. Okay. It's the burger rat. It's why I also want to, if I ever do merchandise on my channel, it's why that's going to be on a t-shirt. It's just going to have a burger with a hole in it. It's just a burger with a hole in it. By the way, I got the Persona cookbook. The Wild Duck Burger is in there. Although it's not the classic Wild Duck Burger, it is the Wild Duck Burger Mystery Burger. So it's technically what we go in and we eat. But it's there. And I will make it at some point, and I will let you know. But other things such as the curry is in there. I think Big Bang Burger is in there. Something like that. But there's a bunch of different recipes in there that I do want to try. Because I have these cookbooks for novelty reasons. But honestly, some of them look pretty fucking good. So, yeah, fun times. All right. Let's see. Oh, from Captain Taruzva, if I'm pronouncing that right, 1999. Have you heard of the Trails series, and do you plan to give that series a try? Oh, I've heard of that series. I have been trying to do a live stream or let's play of something of the Cold Steel series on this channel for a long time, and every single time it goes up for a poll, it barely loses to something else. Trust me. I am very familiar. I love the series. It's just a commitment. This is one of those things. Let me go and talk to you guys about the Trail series, okay? The Trail series is essentially, if you take, we're going to use Dungeons and Dragons as an example. Imagine, if you will, you have an entire world, and you have a DM. That DM wants to use this entire world to tell one big, gigantic fucking story. But to do so, he needs to get a group of players to play in a campaign based in this area of the world. And then a new group of players to play in this other area of the world. And this other group of players to play in this other area of the world. Or even the same players, but they roll up new characters and they play in that area of the world, so that all areas of this world that he has crafted is covered. And it's got their own story, their own villains, and their own situations happening. But they're all happening at almost roughly the same time, which means that crossovers will happen, villains are shared, and things that happen in one area affect another area, until everything comes together to one grand finale where all the characters come together and they raise up their weapons and go, ah! They go after the biggest big bad in the whole big badiverse of this world. That is the Trails series. That is Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel, Trails, Crimson Sin, I think it's what it was called, Trails of Azure, Trails of this, Trails of that. They are all telling one giant fucking story, but telling them in bits and pieces. And those bits and pieces can have multiple parts. So, Trails in the Sky has 3 games. Trails of Cold Steel has 4 games, 5 if you count the epilogue game that ties into the next series of games. The crossbow games are 2. Then there's a couple of games that come out after that. That I've stopped. I played through Cold Steel 1, 2, and 3 and a little bit of 4, and then I got caught up in something after 4. I didn't finish 4, but I still need to play Trails of the Sky, which they are remaking 1, 2, and 3. 1 is already out, 2 is on its way. The Crossbell games, there's 2 of those, but I think they've remastered those a few times. Then there's the newest games. They're getting all... If I were to do the Trails games, that by itself is I drop everything and I played this entire fucking series, or at the very least a certain area like the Trails of Cold Steel games or the Trails of the Sky games, but people are going to be invested like, hey, what's the next part of it? Well, we got a whole play Trails of the Sky? Okay, well, what's the next thing? Well, we got Trails of Cold Steel, that's 4 more games, that's 7 games! 7 games right there. Then we get 2 Crossbells. Then we get the 5th one. So that's like 10 games. And then there's like 14 fucking games. There's 14 fully long RPGs to play for one whole grand story. This would be an undertaking that I am very willing to do. I'd be more than happy to do it. I would just need the support of all of you. I would need people to want me to play these, to want to watch it every time, to want to be invested from start to finish, and to want me to focus on this for as long as it'll take to end it from start to finish, because by doing that, I can guarantee you, if I were to stream, if I were to take 3 nights a week, if I streamed 3 nights a week and did this entire series, we would probably finish the whole damn thing in a year and a half. It's doable. It's doable, but that's all I would do. So, if I were to do anything Trails-wise, it would likely be a segmented story. So I would only do Trails of the Sky. I would only do Trails of Cold Steel. And then I would encourage you all to be like, hey, if you're interested in this, here's the series, go check it out. And if any of you want me to keep playing more of it, then I will. But it is that long. But if I were to pick any of them, I would do Trails of Cold Steel. That is the one that I would pick. Because, one, it's already got a lot of things that you guys like, where it's got social simulation, a fuck ton of waifus, and we're talking about an entire assortment of waifus. You want dainty, flowery, soft waifus? You got them. You want tomboy waifus? You got them. You want tsunderes? You got them. You want fucking the biggest, massivest chests that you've ever seen in a video game? You got them. You want borderline softcore porn stuff? You got it. You want action and heart and actually good story? You got it. You want fun music and boss fights? You got it. You want fucking you want dating sims where you can not just be with the waifus, but you can date a waifu and you can choose a different waifu, including your own teacher? You got it. So there's a whole lot here that many of you would actually probably fucking like if you like Persona. It's just even more anime. Or take Persona and make it even more anime. It is anime, like big bold letters, underlined 3 times, quotation marks. This is a fireworks going off, anime. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm not kidding about the chest sizes. Oh boy, those things like head-sized for like half the cast. The dude that makes these characters has a breast fetish, big time, and they don't even look that bad. They're not overly sexualized. They're wearing they're not like in like fully revealing stuff. It's not like God, what's the game that Jagane keeps throwing around in the Discord? The one they asked me to play, but they're like almost naked teens. And God damn it. Oh, I forgot the name. Damn it. I've forgotten. I'm sure somebody in the chat will bring it up, but it makes them look small. So anyway, Senator Kagura, thank you so much. Senator Kagura, that's the one. Yeah, it makes Senator Kagura look tame as far as bodily proportions. But there's not those crazy jiggle physics and all that. It's actually, the models are huge. It's just tastefully huge. Best way I can put it. Oh God, what am I talking about? So yes, but it has good story, it has good heart, it has great music. I've used a fuck ton of their music for my D&D campaign, because some of the music from the Legends of Heroes games, which is the Trails games, man, that music is amazing. Oh, so yeah, if any of that sounds even remotely appealing to you, whether you play it or you watch me play it, then please let me know, because I would love to do, at the very least, Trails of Cold Steel. I would absolutely love to do it, because it's fun time. From Mimi, so boss, I remember you mentioned getting a pet in chat before. A cat, I think, did that happen? Or are you getting a said pet camera? Has not happened yet. We are still planning on it, but it's going to probably happen later on this year. KDC, you're not dead? I am dead on the inside, but I am slowly recovering. I got better. Captain, the same captain from before that asked me about Trails. What was your favorite boss fight in your gaming? Oh. My favorite boss fight in gaming history. See, that I used to have an obvious answer for that. The obvious answer to that I had was Ganon from Ocarina of Time, because it hit several notes that I had not seen before at the time growing up. It was cinematic as hell. The music, the atmosphere, the lighting, the camera work, everything about that fight was so well done. You would go up against Ganon, who just transformed after Hyrule Castle fell. You think he's dead, because you've already beat him. He fell on his knees, and then he just bursts out. He shows the Triforce of Power, and then he transforms into the Beast Ganon. With two swords, all of a sudden this orchestrated music begins to play. The sword gets knocked out of your hand and lands behind a pillar of fire where Zelda is there watching you. You have to fight Ganon without it for right now. You have to use your other tools until you're able to stun him long enough to go and get it. And then once you got it, you fight him for real. Every time you get hit, Zelda cries out. Everything has a reverb. Everything, the scale has been really, really increased. Nowadays, I could beat that boss with my eyes closed. Not literally, but it's not a hard fight anymore by gaming standards. When it comes to boss fights, there's been a different bar set. But I gotta be honest, that was the first time that my little kid brain's mind was blown as far as a boss fight is concerned. Because it wasn't until after I did that I got experience with some other games that came out technically beforehand, like Chrono Trigger and Lavos, another expert set of boss fights, Chrono Trigger just in general. But that fight with Ganon, I feel like has not been replicated yet. Because Majora's Mask, love the game. I think the fight against Majora never reaches that level. Twilight Princess, it's a one-on-one boss fight against Ganondorf. A sword fight, but I feel like it's doesn't quite hit the same. It seems like it does a lot well, but it doesn't feel as grand and as epic as when he was transformed Beast Ganon with the two swords and that music and the reverb and Zelda screaming when you get hit. All that stuff. It was so well done. But that wasn't the only one at the time, because the fight against Gruntilda and Banjo-Kazooie, that was also good because it was mechanically good. You have a boss fight like Ganon, which is thematically good, and then you have a boss fight like Gruntilda, who is mechanically good. Mechanically good because when you learn in a platforming game, you learn all these kinds of skills and moves that help you beat the game, right? But let's take Mario 64, for example. You fight Bowser the same way 3 times. Even his final form, you fight him the same way. He only just takes more than 1 hit. The skills that you learn don't really apply as much. It's just what you've learned on how to beat Bowser. Okay. Other platformers do kind of the same thing. Banjo-Kazooie? Everything you learn, you use. Because every single time you punch Gruntilda in her ugly ass face enough times, she changes her strategy, and you have to use a brand new move that you learn. You have to use everything. Up to even the items, even the invincibility feathers. You have to use everything. That was a mechanically good fight. Then you have the RPG style fights where it's just stats versus stats, your level, your gear, and all that. That's where Chrono Trigger comes in. That's where Lavos comes in. Multiple stages where the first one is just a boss rush of every major thing that you've dealt with up that time that Lavos is copying. That's assuming you fight him that way. Then you go in and you think that, all right, this is the main one. This is the last guy. Big music hits. Feels like it's the finale, and you're fighting him, he's using everything, you're using everything, and then you beat him, and then all of a sudden, no, you ain't done. Now you have a third form, and you think, oh, it's this ugly looking alien with 2 different things. Oh, those little things? Those are just the minions. You gotta go after this guy. You go kill the middle guy. He's dead. The fight's still going. Okay, we gotta kill these things over here. So you go try to attack one. One of them takes almost no damage. The other one takes a whole bunch of damage. You do that, and then this guy brings them all back. It's like, what the fuck? And then you find out that one little tiny ass little thing there, that's like the fucking core. That's the heart. You have to destroy that thing. So you beat that thing, you get them all while there is this fucking crazy techno shit in the background showing all the different eras that you've been to. It's like a big, grand, epic finale of all of your adventure packed into one fight. There are so many fights. There are so many boss fights that are good. But then there are those boss fights that just set a bar. And those ones that I mentioned set a bar. Now, those are older games. There are still modern games that still do a good enough job. Let's talk about like Persona, for example. Persona, we're going to use Persona 4. I'm going to use Persona 4 here. Now, he's only the final boss if you get a certain ending, and that is Amano Sagiri. Amano Sagiri is a better final boss than most of the final bosses in Persona. And here's why. In Persona 5, the real final boss, as we know, is Izanami. She is the one that is in charge of the whole thing. She orchestrated the whole thing. But she kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't she? Then, Persona 5. You are up against... Who are you going after this whole time? You're going after the bad people trying to get down to Shido. And yet, you beat Shido, who comes out of nowhere? Yaldi. Persona 3? Now that one's a little different. That one's Nyx. That's Avatar of Nyx. Now that one is led up to. Persona's best bosses are the ones that don't come out of nowhere. Even mechanically speaking. Yaldi and Izanami were not nearly as hyped for me as Shido, as Nyx, and especially Amano Sagiri. And the reason I chose Amano Sagiri out of all of them, even with Rivers in the Desert playing against Shadow Shido, who goes down so many times and gets the fuck back up every single fucking time, until he finally gets those like, aha! And then he drops down after trying to hit Yusuke and just punches himself in the face. Or Nyx, who's at the very top of this tower, who you've technically befriended in the form of Ryoji, and you have this whole feeling of apathy syndrome and death route, and then you have this avatar of death, like, it's been leading to this. To me, Amano Sagiri wins because it does what Nyx did, but better. Amano Sagiri was something that everyone was leading up to. The fog. The fog is the big thing that is encompassing this town, that is causing, truly, a lot of these problems with the real world, TV world, whatnot. And when you go and face him, what are the steps that you take? You find out who the killer is. You go after him. You beat him. Find out that he was the reason why you've had to been saving your friends all this time. He orchestrated this whole thing, and he only had to do a couple of things to get somebody else to do the work for him while he's just sitting back and watching me. When you beat him, the mastermind behind the whole fog stuff comes out. Even though that, as we know, he's just an underling to Izanami, but Izanami just felt like kind of disconnected. Amano Sagiri also kind of disconnected, sort of, but it's thematically themed to everything that's already happened. You go and fight him. Look at what you are fighting, where you are fighting him, and what music is playing. You're fighting a giant eyeball. A giant eyeball with vents. It creates the fog, and it symbolizes watching. Always watching. People watching the TV. It symbolizes what the eyes see, what they want to see. While you are fighting this thing, you have an orchestral track that is both soothing and uplifting while also a little bit dangerous at times, but it symbolizes like the end of the journey. Like you finally found this fucking thing. That's really the root of all the problems, as you know of the time. And where are you fighting him? You are in the fucking sky looking down above the town you've been trying to save this whole goddamn time. You see Inaba everywhere beneath you. It is so masterfully crafted in its design that it blew me away the first time I did it. It blew me away multiple times after that, and they better not fuck it up on this remake. If anything happens, I hope they make Izanami a little bit better. Because Izanami really felt disconnected. I feel like out of all the true final bosses of Persona 3, 4, and 5, Izanami is probably the most disconnected. I can excuse Yaldi. I can excuse him. Izanami's like, what? But I get it. I get it because of some other things going on. It just didn't feel like she mattered as much, you know? Amano Sagiri felt like he mattered. I also hope that they, I know you all know who it is, but there are some people that might not have played 4, so I'm just gonna say the killer. I hope the fight against the killer gets fixed because I also found out that his AI was fucked in both the original and in Golden, so he wasn't as full potential when you fought him. Because he was supposed to basically hit everybody's weaknesses almost all the time and make himself seem like a final boss level enemy. So I hope they fix that. So, Royal has a new final boss. One that Bun wants to rant about. So that's why we also want to do Royal together, because she has her own Akechi rant moment with this guy. But please no spoilers. Please no spoilers. So, I think I've covered this topic for a long time, but a couple of other honorable mentions. Sans, dude, Megalovania, Sans, come on. That was a fucking awesome boss fight, and so fucking worth it. He wasn't the final boss, but he was the super boss. Freaking Demi-Fiend, Shin Megami Tensei 5. I think he was more hyped than Satan. Satan had a cool design, and he had a tough, he had a very, very difficult strategy about him, but I think that the Demi-Fiend was definitely the most hype and the most fun Shin Megami Tensei 5. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is so fucking goated, guys. I love that game. I want to play it again. Where's Shin Megami Tensei 6? God damn it. I want it. I feel like shit. Look, how people are excited about the next Pokemon game, I'm excited about the next Shin Megami Tensei game, okay? It's like, let me collect my demons. Let me collect my demons and my fairies and my waifus and my monsters and the gay horse, okay? Yeah. I've covered this topic too much, but yeah, there's a lot of that. And also, I got into more Souls-like games. Some of those final bosses are also really, really fucking fun. Anything Souls-like, Elden Ring, goddamn. Great time. But I gotta move on. Andrew Storm, I know I have to ask thing before and stuffs and agree on, and then let's play, stream, and VODs. Huh? But what if you were to do multiplayer games? Yeah, I think I brought this up once before that I should be doing like a multiplayer night with you guys. So thank you for bringing that up, and I probably should get on that, shouldn't I? Sorry, Tevin. So what you said, does that include TikTok? Yes. You can also make shorts there too and get additional money. Yep. So YouTube Shorts, TikTok Shorts, I'll be putting them both. Phantom Orochi, why not just edit live streams to create highlights with your editing style? Yes, that's kind of what I meant by shorts. If I mean, we'll see what I feel like I really want to do. If I want to just do shorts, or if I want to just take a live stream VOD and then cut that down, and just treat the big live stream as my recording. Excuse me. So I could do that. I'll see what I want to do in that, but that seems like it's also a valid idea. How has 2025 been in terms of gaming, boss? That's Persona 5 Royal. I mean, 2025, I didn't do Royal. That was like 2024, 2023, and we've been out of it for a while. In terms of gaming overall, it was a rough year. Like, for me personally, it was a bit of a rough year because I just had so much happening. Like, we moved twice, already having our minds moving a third time, bouncing between a whole bunch of responsibilities. 2025 was a rough year, and I'm just glad that's over, even though the start of 2026 has been breaking my heart with what's been going on in the world. Absolutely breaking my heart, but that's political stuff. We're not going to get into that. Let's see. Makes sense? Makes sense is not a question. From Akeem, happy to see you back. I don't really have a question, or what should I name my Lapras in Soul Silver? Lapras. Soul Silver, Lapras. Let's see. Nessie. Damn it, Nessie. Loch Ness Monster. Patient One, have you played Live Alive? I have not. I have not played Live Alive. If not, it would be beneficial based on everything that you're talking about due to its layout, and that you would enjoy it. Besides, I'm pretty sure that I would. I've been really interested in the 2D HD stuff. It's also why if they ever do a remake of Chrono Trigger, I don't want them to do it with any other graphic style other than 2D HD, because it's just iconic at this point. Just make it a 2D HD remake and give them voices, more like make the music even better, the world's even better, and all that. Just take what's already good, don't change it, just make it better. Fucking Chrono Trigger, man. What is Square Enix doing? They're sitting on a fucking gold mine, and I guess they're testing the waters with these other HD remakes first. I hope so. I am massively huffing that copium. Let's see. Tevin, is it possible for you to find and work with some of the people that made some of the shorts that included you in general? I mean, possibly. I just don't I don't have anything for them to make shorts of. It would have to be like a compilation video of a super popular game and a super popular moment that gets a lot of reactions. And here's the thing about reaction content. Reaction content is not big on YouTube anymore. It's good on YouTube Shorts. It's good on TikTok. But as far as regular YouTube, the YouTube has massively cracked down on reaction videos. And it's probably unlikely something like that's going to happen again. But is it possible to do it? Yeah, I just don't really see much happening with it. Skylar, I have an idea. Why not after a live stream series ends, you have a CADcast where you talk with someone in your friend group who finished the game or watched you finish it on a podcast? Oh, man. I don't want to add a podcast to everything else. I already have enough going on. I don't want to add a podcast to it. If I really want to talk about it, then I will. But typically, I talk about it at the end of the game on that same stream. Just really briefly, up to like 30 minutes to maybe even an hour if I'm really gushing. But to do a podcast, I don't think so. That's too much. Let's see. Do you think you would play Hades or Hades 2? I think you would like it. I've never really been in roguelikes. I'm pretty sure those are roguelikes. But I really had no interest in playing them. It's kind of one of those things where I would only play if a bunch of people are like, dude, play it. Seriously, play it. Play it, play it, play it. At that point, I'm like, fine, I'll play it. But not really, it's never brought up to me. Daniel Bricker, will you be playing Raido Remastered on the channel? I've been playing it, and it's really damn good play. I want to play it! That's another one. I need a drink. That's another one of those games that's on my list of games that I want to play. And it's also on the list of games that I want to play on my channel, but it's also on the list of games that I might not play for my channel, so I might play it on my own, like Octopath Traveler 0. So it's just like, boy oh boy, I would like to play it, but I think there's other projects that most people want me to do first, and I don't know, but at the very least, just know that I personally want to play it. Any favorite Pokemon or movie? Do you mean Pokemon or Pokemon movie? Because there is a difference between favorite Pokemon and favorite movie. I guess I'll answer it like Pokemon movie. My favorite Pokemon, I have 3 favorite Pokemon. Well, I technically have, I have several favorite Pokemon, but no, I have 4. I have several. I'll just list off the ones I can remember. Raichu. I've always been the big fan of Raichu. Even though everybody and their mother is a big fan of Pikachu, I love Raichu. And I feel like Raichu has not gotten enough love. The fact that Raichu finally has Mega Evolutions, it's about fucking time. And not just 1, but 2. God damn it, about fucking time. Give Raichu some goddamn love. Well, I mean, Raichu also had the Alolan Raichu, which is cuter and also had a really good typing, Psychic and Electric, instead of just pure Electric. So, I mean, that was also good. It's just that its stats were always paling in comparison to other electric types when it's fucking Raichu. Pikachu with the light ball was technically better than a Raichu, unless you're talking about health-wise. It's like, do you want more power or more tanking? Do you want cute, adorable mascot, or do you want Raichu? Well, I wanted Raichu, so yeah. Gengar! When it comes to the ghost Pokemon, there's only one ghost Pokemon that I've still fallen in love with and still love to this day, and that is Gengar. I love Gengar, and back when it was a poison ghost instead of just raw ghost, I was a little upset because this is based on Generation 1, where ghost types were supposed to counteract psychic types, and Mewtwo was running the show then. So it's like, oh, well, you can throw a ghost type at a psychic type because it's super effective against that. Oh, wait. You also have poison, which psychic is strong against. So, the really strong ghost type sucks against psychic types. And then they introduce more ghost types. But now there's a reason to have poison. In fact, now, because of Gengar's ghost poison typing, he's actually really, really, really good compared to just raw ghost. But yes, Gengar is up there. Friggin' love Gengar. Love his Mega Form a lot, so he is definitely up there. And the Generation 1 keeps on rolling because Mewtwo is still my favorite legendary. Mewtwo is still my favorite legendary, and come on, it's Mewtwo. Mewtwo's cool. Mewtwo's fucking cool, guys. What else can I say about Mewtwo? He's just cool. But there are some that I like that are not Generation 1. Whimsicott. I love that little bastard. Whimsicott saved me. Whimsicott got me through Sun and Moon. Whimsicott was my VIP, my MVP in Sun and Moon, because as a Cottony, that thing fucking tanked so many fights that just the Cottony by itself, even against typing that they're bad against, was winning. Cottony was fucking shit up. And level 60 comes to like, why hasn't this thing leveled up? It says, is Cottony only a one like form Pokemon? And I looked it up, it's like, oh no, it does evolve. Okay. Oh, a Leaf Stone! Okay, look at that Leaf Stone. Turns into fucking Cottony, and I fell in love. Whimsicott. Cottony turns into Whimsicott. So, yeah, freaking Whimsicott is up there. And then there's a whole bunch of others that I like, but I think if I were to really, like, off the top of my head, be like, I like these Pokemon the most, it would be them. There's also Ogerpon, but it's because we've kind of adopted Ogerpon as a Poke child, rather than just catch and battle. But, yeah. Alright. Pokemon movie? I've only seen the first 3 and a direct to VHS Mewtwo Returns. I think I really remembered the first one the most, because I watched that one the most. But I also thought it was kind of ridiculous because it's like, well, Ash, what are you going to do here? Just yell and scream? Okay. Mewtwo, what are you going to do here? Just fight Mew? Okay. Everybody else, what are you going to do? Team Rocket, you're just watching? Oh, okay. So, I mean, it was fine, but to me, it didn't wow me. Then the second movie came. And I felt like that one wowed me a little bit more, but I remember less of it. And it's kind of weird because I remember it being a little bit more, it felt like the stakes were higher. But it's okay. Then there was the third one, and I just remember little girl thinks Entei is father, and Entei makes little girl into big girl, and unknown are involved. That's about it. I think out of all of them, I think my favorite out of all of them was actually the Return of Mewtwo, because that one involved Giovanni and Team Rocket, and they're hunting down Mewtwo. So it felt like it was a little bit more. It actually felt more action-packed and eventful than the other like in theater movies. So yeah, I'm gonna say out of the 4 that I saw, it's Return of Mewtwo. Let's see. Have you ever been to Cheesecake Factory? A few times. It's okay. It's literally just okay. It's like any other slightly higher priced steakhouse food place, sit down place. I know Nico B still does Let's Plays, but he does stream some of the popular games on his Twitch and sometimes post some of them as shorts, so you can take some inspiration from him. There you go. Yep, same idea. Same idea. What's your favorite show and why? That's a tough one because I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't even stream TV shows. Like, I was big into Marvel movies. I didn't even watch their TV shows. When it comes to shows, it's mostly like YouTube stuff. Like when it comes to sitting down and watching entertainment, it's mostly YouTube stuff, to be perfectly honest. Damn, I don't think I can really answer that, because the only things that I can really answer when it comes to TV shows were like what I watched when I was a kid. But the thing is that a lot of those shows I've forgotten as a kid. Like, although anime could lessen this. You know what? I could cheat on this. Anime. Anime is a show. Okay. So there's a few anime. There's a few anime that I'd like to bring up to answer this question. First one is probably the one that has the most impact on me overall, and that is Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z specifically. Not GT, not Super, not Dragon Ball Z. That probably has the most impact on me overall as a show. That is what truly got me into anime before I knew what anime was. Because when Pokemon came out, I didn't realize that was an anime. I was like, that's the cartoon where they talk with their mouths flapping wide open. That's how I described it when I was really young and stupid. But then I discovered anime because of Toonami. So when Toonami became a thing, you can bet that there was a lot of shows on that became some of my favorites. Hell, Tenchi Muyo, that's where the name Kagato comes from. And I still think it's actually still one of the better harem. I do that big quotations because it's not really a harem. It's two girls like him. Technically a third if you count Kione, only in the weird Tenchi and Tokyo thing. But still. Wait, did they have a fucking ending with Tenchi, like, recently where they finally answer who he marries and he marries all of them? Yep, that was it. I remember it. That's what killed it to me, is that, like, the whole idea was that he was coded to be with Ryoko for the longest time. Like, there was even a fucking movie. There were 3 Tenchi Muyo movies. One of them was a romance. The other 2 were action. This one was a romance. And, like, the whole time was coded for him to get with Ryoko, because he was brought into an alternate dimension where the main villain is this woman who stole him from his world, brought her into her own reality, but he keeps having flashes of his original life because he's a painter, and every time he paints, he keeps painting Ryoko. And he's like, I don't know who this is. And she gets mad, she rips it up, it's like, I'm the only one for you. And then it's like, he never paints Ayeka. He never paints any of those. It's only Ryoko. And the end credits is only him and Ryoko and their times together throughout the TV series and the movies and all that. It's always should have been Ryoko. But no. They decided, no, he's gonna get with all of them. So he fucking marries friggin' Sasami. It's like Mihoshi. Classic Tenchi was good. The new stuff, no. Outlaw Star, Trigun, a whole bunch of all those older shows before they did Flash animations that they brought over for Adult Swim and Toonami. Escaflowne, I liked Escaflowne when it came to my mechs. I wasn't really big on Gundam like Gundam Wing. I did like G Gundam though, but didn't really like Gundam Wing all that much, although I watched it when it was on because it was just something. But I remember Escaflowne completely blowing me away, and that is when I started looking into more fantasy stuff, and at the same time I'm really like Tenchi. I'm like, okay, well, let me look into the harem stuff and the fantasy stuff, and oh boy, the things that I found were a mixed bag, and that led me down some serious rabbit holes. But eventually I got out of that shit and found a little known anime that some of you might have heard of. It's a little obscure, but it's relatively okay. I think it's more popular in Japan than it is in the West, called One Piece. And that is where the shit hit the fan for me as far as like full-blown just binge watching a show, and to the point where it's like, this show is too long. I can't keep going. I was binge watching One Piece in college. It is still going. I gave up. And now I'm just waiting for them to finally end it, because it's just like, I just want to see how it ends now, because it's gone on for too long. But I still like One Piece. I like One Piece a lot, and One Piece has also affected a whole lot of my life in regards to the way I think in forms of fantasy and adventure and the like. So it's kind of why my D&D campaign is set in an archipelago, but each island on the archipelago feels like it's entirely different kind of world and climate and kingdom that you would see in like bigger continents, but they're islands and there's pirates. So that's kind of the inspiration with that. It's like it's an archipelago, but it's like you have one island that is like grasslands and trees, and that's the kingdom, and that's got its own castle town and everything. And then you have another island that's only a short distance away, but that one's completely frozen over through magic. And then you have another island that's even bigger on the other side of that, and that one is more tropical, but that's got a bunch of rich bitches and nobles. And then there's another island to the south that is more like hills and more like the country evades me, but it's like hills and rocks and such on one side, and then a jungle on the other side. It feels like that they have no sense, but that's how it was in One Piece. They had some things that made sense and some things that didn't, but they didn't care as long as it met some kind of a narrative or was interesting. They just went with what was interesting. So, and I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. So that's kind of how that archipelago got made. It doesn't make any sense climate-wise. It doesn't make any sense size-wise. As it makes no sense in a lot of ways. But damn it, is it mine, and damn it, it's thanks to One Piece that I did something like that. And also why I'm still into Pirates today, not just Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah, it's a lot of those older shows, those older animes. Some of them I call as old that are still running. Vandred. Vandred's another one. Now, Vandred is a unique kind of show that I think only Naos also knows about, but I've gushed about this show. Vandred is a space odyssey kind of story. It's harem with big, giant, massive quotations, but only because it's three guys on an entire spaceship with a bunch of girls. But it's not treated like a harem. It's treated like a social thing. Because in this future, Earth blows up. And this is at a point where men and women hate each other's guts. It's almost like how, take today, with the battle of the sexes that's popular right now, and then make it so extreme that they're willing to be like, we want to separate ourselves from you entirely. You get your own fucking planet, we get our own fucking planet. So that's what happens. Men go on to one planet, females go on another planet, and then generations go by, they figured out how to reproduce without the need for the other sex, and they have now lived so far apart that they don't even know what the other sex is like. So the pendulum swings the other way as the same creatures that came by to attack and blow up Earth came on by and forced these three guys to escape. And they managed to escape, and where do they end up? They get picked up from an SOS by a ship made of all women from the woman planet. And now they're like, who and what the fuck are you? You're not like any women I've ever seen. You're not like any men I've ever seen. And they're like, wait, men, women, what the fuck? And now they're trying to figure out who the fuck they are, what they like about each other, if they like anything about each other. And it's interesting because all the relationships that form are real, just based off of person and person. So you have relationships where there are guys that are together, that are girls are together. So you got lesbian relationships, you got gay relationships, and then you have normal relationships. And it's all not played up for gags or laughs or anything weird. It's played up naturally. It's actually played up nice. There are a couple of fan servicey shots here and there, but it's actually played very seriously. And then it shows that in the end, some of the things that the guys bring to the table and some of the things that the girls bring to the table do better when they combine them together. And it comes to this big final lesson, like we need to work together despite our differences in who we are, where we come from, even what our sex is, what our genders are, anything like that, because we all bring something to the table and we're better together than we are apart. And doing all that through a really cool kind of space odyssey type thing with some really cool combat and the like. So Vandred, I would definitely recommend Vandred if you're interested in a story like that, because even today, like this thing came out like 20, 30 years ago, it's relevant even today. I highly recommend it. And there we go. Let's see. I lost my space here. Oh no! Hurry on time. Woof. I'm taking too much time to rant. So I should probably go through a few that probably don't. I'll do my best. Oh my god, I did miss a few. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, here I am. Showing why. What's your favorite part of Leon in Resident Evil 4? That he's still a dork. That they tried to make Resident Evil 4 Remake a little bit more serious, but he's still a dork. But then in Resident Evil 4 Classic, he's also a dork. So my favorite part of Leon is Leon. So are you aware of the other possible Silent Hill game apparently coming out this year, Silent Hill Townfall? I heard a little bit about it. I don't know much about it yet, and I only hope that they don't fuck it up. They hit gold with F. They hit gold with F. They better fucking deliver. If they're gonna do this, with another Silent Hill so soon, assuming it's being developed at the same time F was, they better not drop the ball, because Silent Hill has already dropped the ball once and they just finally picked it up again. They'd only finally picked it up. Will you stream Expedition 33? That was asked earlier. So again, you have enough outcry for it, but I personally do want to play it. Is Pirate Yakuza part of your list? I do want to play it, but unfortunately it's on the short list. It is on the list of spares. It's one of those games that's like, I'll probably play on my own. I would like to play it on the stream, but I think at this point, I hate to make the pun, but I think the ship has sailed as far as hype for it. Because there's too much in the way of even Yakuza games. So, we'll see. Have you been taking care of your mental health, boss? It's been getting better. It has been getting a lot better. I'm actually going to a sleep doctor in a couple of weeks, so I can get some better sleep. Better sleep, better mental state, better body state, and I'm also trying to dedicate this year to personal health stuff. And we'll see what kind of transformations I go through by the end of this year. What is your opinion on Honkai Star Rail? I think it is a widely received game that I have not played. I know about Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. There's like a few other games that are like it, but I've never played them. Not because I haven't been interested, but because I just don't know a lot about them, because I know they're also gachas. I guess it's something that I'm just going to have to look a little bit more into and kind of learn more and see if it's something I want to jump into. Let's see. That was from Nick Wilson. The one about mental health was from Clockworkson. Yakuza was Andrew Storm. From Captain Aruzva. You bringing up D&D. Have you played or plan to play Baldur's Gate 3? Like in your free time or even... Okay, Baldur's Gate 3. I have replayed this game probably 4 times. I have gotten through Chapter 1, restarted, did a little bit differently. Got to the second part, Chapter 2. Finished that. Stop. Reset. Got to a little bit halfway into Chapter 2. Stop. Reset. Got to the end of Chapter 2. Got a little bit into Chapter 3. And that's where I currently am. And I stopped. But the thing is that I've been spoiled on the ending. And I just... there's just so much other things going on that it's one of those games that I love. It's great. It's fun. I love the characters. And I'm just a sucker for restarting again. And because it's like, oh, I want to try out these other things, but I want to try it a different way and see what happens. And it just makes me replay it over and over again, which makes me get bored because I've already played it before, and I find myself doing the same choices that I did before because I can't do the evil route because I'm too much of a goody two-shoes in these fucking games, and I care about characters too much, and god damn it, I just... do you know the definitions of insanity? Do I plan to play it for the channel? Unless there's a massive outcry, probably not. Would it be a game that I would play for the channel? Absolutely, because people like to see you fuck up and play games like that. But I think the hype train has passed for Baldur's Gate 3 for the most part. And I think if there was a new game that was like it that came out, maybe people might want to see me play that instead. Let's see. Alicia, are you going to play Fatal Frame 2 Remake when it comes out? Oh my god, that's right. That's also coming out, and that's going to be coming out soon. Fuck it, yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Reno, D&D is something I've always loved. I had a group for about a year. When we broke up, I missed it a lot. We did a superhero-based D&D story in the world of Smallville. I played Flash and loved it. Well, that wasn't really a question, but I will just say that, I played Mutants and Masterminds as the introduction into tabletop games before I started actual Dungeons & Dragons. Mutants and Masterminds is just, well, Dungeons & Dragons made specifically for heroes. It uses its own dice system. Everything's based off of a D20. But that is how I first got my start, and that is how my fairy companion became a thing. That's why my with my group of pirates in the Sunday campaign, the first mate is a fairy. And that's why I also like fairies so much, because not only of their lore, but also that I was able to make one in Mutants and Masterminds as a sidekick that did some fucking awesome shit. So, yeah, I can totally get the appeal of the superhero stuff. I just wouldn't want to play as a pre-existing hero. I'd want to play as my own. So, homebrew. But still, superhero stuff is fun. I might do something like that at some point. But I'm currently really into just the fantasy worlds right now. So it's going to just be pure basic fantasy. Not even dark fantasy. I mean, there might be some sprinkled in here and there. But just like fantasy to high fantasy, where it's like magic is common and OBS Studio disconnect. Uh-oh. Are we fine? Are we good? I saw an alert come up that say OBS Studio reconnection. Uh-oh. Let me make sure that I'm still live. I guess I am still live. Good. Okay. Let me actually refresh my own page here. Yep, I'm still live. We're good. Yay! Alright, we're good, we're good. Woo! That was terrifying. Alright. My spot. Okay. Timid Ghost. Have you heard about there going to be a Dreadout 3? Yes, I have! And I will be playing that! Of course! I'm not skipping out on Dreadout. Are you kidding? Dreadout is ingrained within me now. From Cyan Mania. Hi, Kagato. This is just a very simple question, but what's your favorite video game soundtrack? Oh, boy. Oh. The Octopath Traveler series has a fucking awesome soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie. That soundtrack is blowing me the fuck away right now. But as far as a favorite one, God, that's really hard because so many are so good for different reasons. So I'll just list off a few. So there is the Octopath Traveler series, Shin Megami Tensei, and a lot of Persona. There's also Chrono Trigger, of course. I'd be crazy not to include Chrono Trigger. Oh, man. The Trail series I mentioned before. Zelda has a lot of good music. We're going to be here for a long time if I keep going, but that should give you an idea that I don't have an absolute favorite, but there's a lot of really good favorites. But if I had to say one was probably the single most iconic gaming soundtrack that I can recall, it would probably be Chrono Trigger. It would probably be Chrono Trigger. Right, Slash. Hi, Kagato. Just want to ask if you ever want to do multiplayer games with friends sometime in the future, because I do miss the games we game together with others, like with Smash. Yes, this was also asked before, but I will say this again. I miss playing with my friends. I do. And one of my New Year's resolutions was to try and get involved with it again. I know that there are some of my friends that are getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And there was one night that I was going to go in and learn how to play this new format, but something happened, and I could not make it. But it is something that is important for me, and that's to keep the friends that I have and still play games. So yeah, we should definitely do. Limitless Neo. In regards to Persona 5 Royal, is the story in general or the mechanics that make it stale for you until you get to the new content? Both. The story and the mechanics, because they are the exact same except for tiny little breadcrumbs. Tiny little breadcrumbs. You have mostly the new thing. Of course, there's the bosses being different and a couple of new mechanics, sure, but it's almost like, I should say, 85% of it is the same, with another 15% being new, with only 100% of it being new at the very end. So it's almost like, it feels like the new stuff in Royal would have been better off as DLC, rather than a full-on release. And even Atlas and Sega know that now, because they actually made several announcements and articles saying that they realize more people are buying the original than they are of the re-releases, because the re-releases don't have enough to justify a brand new purchase when they can just watch somebody else do it. So they're going to make more of an effort to incorporate everything in the base game, and if they do anything more, it'll be a DLC instead. So that is why it's so hard for me to really get back into Royal, because it's just like I'm playing standard 5 vanilla again with some DLC added until we get to the very, very, very end, when finally it's something more. So that's why it's rough for me. That's why something like Golden was different. Golden felt like a full remake because it wasn't just a little sprinkling of something new here and there until the very end. It was new stuff was inserted almost every single month. New cutscenes, new content, new gameplay, new everything. The whole game was fucking revamped. And then you have Persona 3 Reload, which is just a full remake. A full remake from the ground up. Those are the types of things that get me interested. Royal did not quite hit that. I almost want to just be like, I just want to skip to the part where the Royal stuff happens and just do a let's play of that. That's almost how I want it to be, because nothing up until that is going to be any different except for teeny tiny little breadcrumbs, you know? Anyway, that's kind of how I feel. From Sozo, would you consider picking up Onimusha? It's Resident Evil with a samurai, and new entry at over 14 years coming out this year. I've heard about something like that. I've heard about Onimusha a few times, but I know that there was a samurai game that was like a samurai game that's Resident Evil. So that's Onimusha. Does that mean it's like a horror game? Is Onimusha a horror game? Because if that's the case, then it's completely flown under my radar. I'm going to check it out. If Onimusha is a horror game, then I'm going to check it out. From Akeem, do you think a group randomizer stream is in the cards at any point? Akeem, yes, absolutely. Because you know what? Bun wants to do one. I told her what we did. She wants to do one with us. She wants to play like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And like we all get into a group archipelago and just do one decently sized randomizer. Not one so massively huge where there's like a whole fuck ton of people playing and then talking over each other. So maybe like 4, maybe 5. And maybe see if it's like each gameplay. I'll have to figure out how I can stream it to where all the gameplay can be seen, or set it up to where people want to watch one person, they can watch that, watch the other one, something like that. But Bun really wants to do something like that one, because I've kind of hyped it up for her, and it would be fun for us to do that. And she also misses playing games with you and games with the others. She wanted to be involved with something and felt like something like that would be good. And I love randomizers! So yeah, totally, we should talk more about that. Let's see. Alpha Dragon, you planned on playing Pokemon Black and White. I never planned on playing Pokemon Black and White. Or Legend Z. Legend ZA. I did plan on playing Legend ZA if I heard enough good things from Bun, because she played it. She has told me that I probably wouldn't like it. That I probably should wait until the next mainline Pokemon game. So I am going to trust her judgment, because of what she has told me. There will not be a Legend ZA on my channel. We will wait and see where Pokemon goes from here. I will play another Pokemon game for you guys, It's just not going to be ZA. Master Builder, are you and Mun going to start developing more episodes of Persona? Well, Persona 5 Royal is getting a lot. You guys definitely want to see more of that. And you know what? That's fine. That's understandable. Master Builder, you asked like a bazillion questions, dude. You asked a fuck ton of questions. I'll get through them quickly. Are we going to go through Persona 5 again? Maybe. How's your day been? Short. Is it possible to transfer your Persona 4 Golden playthrough to Discord? Probably. If it does, then that'd be easy. What's your thoughts on the live-action Sonic 3 movie? Fucking loved it. I'm looking forward to the fourth one. I'm one of those crazy people that likes Amy Rose, so seeing Amy Rose show up, I fanboyed the fuck out. I fanboyed so hard that Bun was looking at me like, well, she was kind of excited too. But and I think it's because Amy Rose as a character has finally evolved beyond just girl who chases Sonic. She now is a character. And I think Sonic Boom had a lot to do with that because they tried to turn her more independent into Sonic Boom, where she's more frustrated with Sonic and his stupidity than she is fawning over him. And they kind of took that kind of combination of old Amy and new Amy, mashed it together in Frontiers to where she still loves and cares for Sonic, but she also loves and cares for her friends, but she feels like she has her own things to do, her own responsibilities. And then she's willing to just go on her own adventures. Like, you know what, Sonic? I don't really need you anymore. Not to say I want to get rid of you, hell no, but I feel like I've finally grown up. Amy Rose has finally grown up. So, wouldn't it be fucking wild if Sonic 4 flipped the script and it's actually Sonic that sees Amy? He's like, oh my god, there's a girl hedgehog? And then Amy is actually the one that's trying to escape from his advances the whole time? That'd be... I don't think they're going to do that because that's too much against the classic Amy and it's too much of a trope. But I think if they also did it as Amy fawning after Sonic, that's also going to be seen a rough line. I hope they do Amy justice. Let's see. Lyndon said, did I miss my answer? I don't know. Did I miss an answer? Was there... Oh, it was a super chat? Oh, I see. Lyndon, hey, Kag, speaking of One Piece, my server that Mimi is in the Egghead arc made it in 2 years, and do I hear peak? Vandred, that is VD, is fire. Oh, hey, yeah, so you know Vandred, yes. So I'm glad to know somebody else. It's somebody other than me and Naos. But thank you so much, dude. My server that Mimi is in the Egghead arc. Made it in 2 years. Oh, that's what you're saying. I get it now. You're doing the Egghead arc. You're streaming that, and it took 2 years to get there. Holy shit. God damn it, that show is so fucking long. But thank you so much, Lyndon. Thank you so much. One thing I missed is your Persona 4 Golden playthrough. I used to watch it all the time, and I love the anime edits that you did. So, yeah, more of a reason that I need to do something with it, and I should do something with it this year. Sooner than later, because that was a great time, as cringy as it is now, thinking back on what I did. But if a lot of people enjoyed it, then I might as well do what I can to bring it back, right? Let's see. Master Builder again. Have you ever played any of the God of War games? God of War is not my thing. So, no, I never played any of those games. Reno, what are your thoughts on Ethan from Resident... I do like Ethan. I like Ethan because he's a Silent Hill protagonist dropped into the world of Resident Evil. He's Joe Man Every Guy that is going up against these monsters and mutations that all the other games... Let's take a look now, shall we? Resident Evil 0, STARS member and a military officer. Resident Evil 1, STARS members. Resident Evil 2, a cop. And, well, there's Claire Redfield. I can't remember if she had much training, but she's been with Chris Boulder punching Redfield, so I think she's got a little bit of history there. Let's see. 3, Jill Valentine, STARS member. 4, Leon, now a government agent. 5, Chris, who's now a BSA agent, along with another BSA agent with Sheva. 6, fucking the whole cast. 7, Ethan. 8, Ethan. Regular Joe Man guy. Code Veronica, Chris and Claire. So yeah, all the other games have military government or at least well-trained people in some form or fashion. 7 and 8, you have Ethan fucking Winters, who's just a guy. He's just a guy trying to save his wife, trying to save his daughter. That's why I like Ethan, because he's a fresh take in the Resident Evil universe when we already have all these characters. And that's why I like what they're doing with 9. They have Alyssa Ashcroft's daughter, but they also have Leon. So those that like Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, action stuff, you have Leon for that, who is well seasoned. He doesn't get scared. He's going around drop kicking things left and right. And then you have Alyssa Ashcroft's daughter, who's not in that. She is in the government, but she's never been in this kind of situation before. So she gets scared. So she gets the horror side. Leon gets the action side. And as long as they do this where it's not, oh my god, it is like 6. They better not make it as bad as 6. God damn it. It's almost like 7, 8. They made 7, 8, 9 a copy of 4, 5, and 6. Well, maybe not exactly 4, 5, and 6, because 4 was action. 4 and 8 was more like each other. Never mind. Never mind. That joke goes gone. But yeah, I like Ethan a lot because I truly believe that he was a breath of fresh air. He was a guy just trying his best that got served a really unfortunate hand. It's basically like, what if you got thrown into a Resident Evil situation? The guy tried his best. And I know that in 7 he wasn't really talkative, but it's because 7 was designed with first person in mind to make it feel like you are Ethan. So it's like, what Ethan sees is what you see. You are the character. And then 8, same thing, but then they added third person, but they at least made Ethan a little bit more quippy and made him a little bit more like a character, but I still liked him. It's strange to say this, but Ethan is actually one of my favorite characters now because of all that. He is just a guy trying his fucking hardest for his family, who is just a guy thrown into this wild scenario. And unlike Silent Hill, which is just the biggest therapy session that you can imagine, catered towards this guy, it is not that. It is Resident Evil. If the world is cruel and this monster is going to bite off your head and eat it, you are dead. There is no purgatory. There is no feeling like you died and then you wake up in this weird room and then you keep on going as if nothing happened. And then you have manifestations of your guilt that you have to beat, but they're designed to be beatable because they are huge and monstrous and you are just puny little man. And but you can still do it because of the gun or the pipe that you found. No, this is Resident fucking Evil, where you need to use fucking rocket launchers to beat some of these guys, and you got Joe Schmo, Milquetoast Man, trying to save the day. This is why I like Ethan Winters, and I think he gets a bad reputation for no reason. Anyway, the rest of your question. I remember watching your episode of Village, and you started talking about it. It was curious for me. I love Ethan. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. Leon as my 2. See, I'm glad that you like Ethan too. I'm glad that you like Ethan too. Hey, Kagato-chan, when is your wedding anniversary at? That is something I'm going to have to talk to Bun about. I mean, it's not that I've forgotten what day it is. It's something that I want to see if it's something that she wants people to know about. So we'll put a pin in that one. Tevin Blair, that's blank. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth from Andrew. When are you continuing it? Very soon, possibly next week. As long as I get everything put together. So no guarantees on any time until I start actually doing a thing. Once I start doing a thing, then you can guess that it will be there. Would you consider Bioshock 1 as a possible play? Yeah, why not? If people want it. I liked it. I like Bioshock 1. What do you think of Beekman's World? What the fuck is Beekman's World? I am so confused. That is a question that I cannot answer because I don't know what a Beekman is. I apologize. Kick Bros, is Xenoblade 3 still going to be played since it is one of the, since it was on your polls? Did it win a poll? I'll have to find out if it actually won a poll, because if it did, I'm going to have to play that. But if it did win a poll, then I still want to play it, but I also want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and actually beat that. So, I guess we'll say that, yes, no, maybe? More leaning on the yes, maybe? Let's see. Falconer, is Wild Duck Burger made with actual duck meat? No, it is not made with actual duck meat. It is made with a combination of other meats, but not duck. Not duck. Will you make Mystery Food X? I know that is actually in the recipe book. I'll look at it and see if it seems like something that is actually edible, but it just looks like Mystery Food X. Because if it is going to taste like Mystery Food X, I'm not going to waste food on that. What kind of anime do you watch? I don't watch anime anymore. I have kind of stopped, although if I were to watch anime right now, it would be going back to One Piece and Detective Conan. That was another one I watched a lot because I like murder mysteries. And I think it's still going on. So I'd go back to One Piece and Detective Conan. And I know Dragon Ball Super is still kind of a thing, so it'd probably be that too. But I'd probably watch isekais just for like D&D inspiration, because I know that isekais are mostly like 90% fantasy world video game type stuff. So that would be fun to watch. So yeah, something like that. That's probably what I'd watch, which is funny because that's like the popular thing in Japan right now. I watch comedies like Nichijou, Slice of Life, like Lucky Star, the occasional magical girl series like Madoka Magica. I enjoy shows like Cowboy Bebop as well. It was more like what kind of anime? I like adventures, and I like comedy. And look, I'm a guy, I do like my fan service, but I don't like it to be blatant, like, over-sexualization to the detriment of the character kind of thing. Like, there was there was a show called Girls Bravo, where it was a harem anime, but it was also overly fan service to the point where it actually disgusted me. It was not objectifying women in like a camera angle kind of way, but like the characters themselves would gather up the female characters and outwardly objectify them. It was disgusting. I hated that show. And then there's other harem anime styles from the time where it's just a guy that lives in a place with a whole bunch of girls, but he's only interested in just one or two of them. Tenchi was kind of the same way, but at least that was, good. Versus a show that was, bad, like Love Hina, where he was only interested in the one girl, but the one girl was very, very abusive towards him, physically and mentally. So why was that a thing for such a longest time, where romance animes had to have abusive relationships? I guess that was the thing at the time. What's your favorite Kingdom Hearts boss fight? That's a good question. That's a good question, because there are some really good ones, and then there are good ones but are also frustrating. I liked a lot of the ones in 3, mostly because I actually liked the music a lot. It was strange compared to the rest of the series, but it was still good. I think it's because Yoko didn't work on a lot of the music. There were some of the ones that she didn't work on, but they were like some good ones. Damn. God. What was his name? Oh, fuck! I gotta look it up. I can answer this. Vanitas. Birth by Sleep. Ventus versus Vanitas in Birth by Sleep. That was it. That was the one. I remember. I loved the music. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the combat. I loved everything about it. The other two characters, like, one was going up against fucking Xehanort himself, and it wasn't as cool. Ventus versus Vanitas. That was the one that I liked the most. That one's my favorite. So, yeah. Is it still my favorite? It might not be. I'm going to have to play Kingdom Hearts again. Because I went through 1 and 2, but I haven't done Birth by Sleep. And I still need to do 3 to its completion. I'm not finished 3. I've only played 3 up till how long you guys saw me do 3. I do want to do them. But yes, Ventus versus Vanitas. That one was my favorite. Uh-oh. Did I click out of it? I did. That's okay. I just need to pop it out again. Questions. I'm going to actually end this will remove all questions in the question list. No, don't do that. Don't do that yet. Huh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Why is it not showing me all of them? Hold on a sec, guys. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Questions. Uh-oh. That's weird. Huh. Okay, that's fine. I still got it. I didn't lose it. Okay. For whatever reason, I was pulling up the question list and it wasn't going beyond the question of, like a question I answered like an hour ago. So I was getting a little worried that I lost everything, but we're good. We're good. Okay. Okay. There's Kingdom Hearts. Any interest for Hi-Fi Rush? Probably not. Hi-Fi Rush I've heard of. It's not my thing. That was from Sozo from TCR MNK, Ticker Monk 6370. Have you played any Final Fantasy games? That's an odd question to ask unless you're brand new here. Yes, I played a lot of Final Fantasy games. Let's see, let's go over the list. I have played 4. I have played some of 5. I have played all through 6. I have played 7 and the remakes that are coming out. In fact, I'm doing a live stream of Rebirth right now. I played a little bit of 8, played through 9 like 3 times, played through 10 like 3 times, subscribed to 11, and I played through a lot of that, and I even picked up 11 again recently, just for nostalgia's sake, and had fun with that one. Played a little bit of 12, it wasn't my thing. I skipped 13. I still play 14. Hell, I played 14 when the 1.0 beta came out, and I am still playing Final Fantasy 14. I got Bun into Final Fantasy 14, and Bun has now done more in Final She has done more in Final Fantasy 14 in the 2 years she's been playing it than... Has it been 2 years? Has it been 1 year? I think it's only been 1 year. 1.5 years? God, she has done more than I have in the short time that she's played it. She's more into 14 than I am. So yes, we play Final Fantasy 14. I skipped 15, I skipped 16 though. Tactics, played Tactics. So yeah, I play a lot of Final Fantasy. Oh, so much Final Fantasy. And so, do you have a favorite? Okay. As far as a favorite overall single player story, that would be Final Fantasy VI. As far as like spin-offs are concerned and side stories, that would be Tactics. As far as MMOs, I like them both, 11 and 14, but 14 is just an overall better game. But I think the overall best Final Fantasy story I have played in general overall is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers is the best Final Fantasy story I have played, and one of the best RPG stories I've ever played. It is that good. Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers is legendary for a reason. Eric, I got a super chat from you real quick. I've got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collection for Christmas, and I've already completed 1 and 2. I'm currently playing 3 now. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Let's see. From the patient one, regarding your previous talk on Persona bosses, what of Emma and Demiurge? I've forgotten them. Emma and Demiurge. Emma and Demiurge. I think Demiurge was Demiurge from Strikers? Because I thought that was okay. I thought it was fine. I mean, the bosses in Strikers are just all great anyway. Emma. Was that Tactics? Was that Tactica? I've forgotten. I've forgotten it. If that should say anything. I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. I'm sure they were good, though. I'm sure I had a good time. From Faulkner, who's your favorite Pokemon? I answered that question earlier. Master Builder. Jesus, Master Builder. Have you seen the Disney Plus Percy Jackson? I have not. Alpha Dragon. Since February 27th is Pokemon Day and there will be a 30th anniversary, will you play Pokemon Black White, the #1 main Pokemon game, or Legend ZA? I enjoy planning that. No, I don't intend to do anything on February 27th because I will probably be doing one of the Demiurge's Emma Evolved Instructors. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten. Whoops. I do not intend to play a Pokemon game on that day. No. Because I'm going to probably be buried deep in some of the games that I'm already wanting to play. Here's my last question. Who is your favorite Persona character from 3-4? Chie. Chie Satonaka. We should all know this by now. We should all know this by now. It is Chie Satonaka. Amanda Mobley! Will we have Princess Kagato emote? I should probably clean up some of the emotes on my Discord anyway, because there's a fuck ton of emotes that nobody uses anymore. Princess Kagato is kind of ingrained in our culture now, isn't it? We will see. Do you still plan to go play Super Mario Mon? Oh, Pokemon Super Mario. God, I forgot about that. Maybe. There's a maybe. Back to my previous question. If you could change some of the mechanics alongside being able to have the PT in various costumes in the overworld, have the PT? The Fan of Thieves. In various costumes in the overworld, would that help freshen up the game a bit? You could change some of the mechanics alongside being able to... Yeah, skipping the dungeons. Skipping Metaverse entirely. Skipping a lot of stuff, like having a fast track. I would add a fast track. Like, hey, did you finish Persona 5? Yeah. Oh, well, we're just going to show you all the new stuff, and we're going to fast track you to the end, okay? Okay. That would be good. Like a whole different menu that was added, like, it was like there's like new game, continue, and then there is third semester, and then that starts the royal stuff. So you still have the original game, but the royal stuff starts on its own. It's its own menu. So something like that. But I know why they didn't. But that's what makes it a little bit easier for me, because it's like, oh, it's a new menu. I can just start right now, anytime. Yay! How has life been to you? Has 2026 been better than 2020? 2026 has barely begun. Rosie, 2026 has barely begun, so I can't really say much. I can just say right now it is on the path to getting better. So I do hope it's better for us. Alpha Dragon, hey boss, and we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. These are the last 5 questions, which is good because we are about to run out of time. Hey boss, when's your next community gaming stream where we can play with you? This is brought up a few times, so I don't know when, but I do want to do it. And like what you did with Mario Party Superstar. Yeah, because I got Mario Party Jamboree, and that game's a fucking blast, and I would like to play it with other people. Smash Brothers, maybe some other like multiplayer horror games, and people want to join me with Dead by Daylight, that'd be great, because I play that all the time. I have addiction. I have addiction. I have addiction. I have addiction. I have a problem. I've got a problem. I got a problem. I got a Anyway. Thoughts on Ash versus Yugi, if you saw that? I did not see that. But I do have something to mention as far as Death Battle is concerned. The Death Battle team has released a video about a week or so ago that says Death Battles that they got wrong. And they listed off a few of them, but about 1/3 of the way in, a little Death Battle that has gotten me and the community upset was brought up. One Death Battle known as Bowser versus Ganondorf. They admitted they were wrong. That Bowser should have won. I was right! I was right! Bowser should have won. They admitted it. They actually came out and admitted it themselves. Bowser should have won. Bowser beats Ganon. Yeah. Okay. Justice for Bowser 9 years later. The reason being is because they realized that at the time there was a difference in how they did things back then versus how they do now, where back then they did what they admitted to. They said they did what people expected most of the time and threw in curveballs every now and then. Now they don't. They just go with their raw examinations of some things, and they still get things wrong, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're on their own now and not a Rooster Teeth group, which is why Tifa lost to, I think it was Yang? Like, they had Tifa versus a member of Ruby, and this is when Death Battle was owned by Rooster Teeth, who also owned Ruby. So, of course, that Death Battle had Tifa versus Yang, and Tifa lost. And that was, like, one of the biggest outcries from the fandom. It was like, there's no way that Yang would beat Tifa. But they went with that because, of course, it's Rooster Teeth. You gotta have one of their post-child characters win. But then they talked about it in this things that they got wrong. They're like, yeah, Tifa should have won. But now, since we now have proof that they did not truly follow what they were told last time, we now know that Bowser should have beat Ganondorf and Tifa should have beat Yang. So those were fixed. So now Bowser has an unofficial victory because of a turnaround 9 years out of the fact, and another victory against Eggman. So Bowser beats Ganondorf, Bowser beats Eggman, Bowser is the GOAT. Fuck yes. So the excuse that they came up with was that they attributed Ganondorf to only being able to be beaten by holy weapons, and Bowser didn't have his hands on any that were truly his. But one of them argued, was like, that makes no sense, because what if Dr. Manhattan tore Ganondorf apart atom by atom? Would he still be alive? And they're like, no, he'd be gone. So it's the idea of, like, the whole holy weapons thing. They might do damage to him, but he's not literally invincible to everything else. And even to things that are ridiculous that Bowser is capable of. So that's why Dracula was able to beat Ganondorf, because they had a Dracula versus Ganondorf, and Dracula won that. Even though they're like, oh, well, Dracula could use holy weapons, but they're like, well, we're still doing the no limits fallacy. So if you take that away, yeah, Bowser wins. So it's just like, thank you. So they decided to admit that the no limits fallacy was stupid. Stupid. All right. So we're about to wrap up here. Let's see. Any interest in the new Digimon game? I am not a Digimon guy. I'm barely a Pokemon guy these days, so I have no interest in Digimon. Just my only question, since everyone else asks, are you still interested in Xenoblade Chronicles 3? That I already answered before, but yes, I am interested in it. Thunderline, I'm currently playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and I was wondering if there was a Shin Megami Tensei 6, what would you add? Personally, I'd add a way to give your demons names. That'd be fun, to name your own demons. Give them nicknames, that'd be fun. I would like there to be, honestly, what they did with Vengeance, to have not just demons, but other members of your party, kind of like what they did with 4. I would like that, so you could have demons and then human members. Also, maybe have a little bit of flexibility with the whole chaos and law thing, because it's still kind of black and white, the way they present it. Like you pick a side and then like, well, here's the evils of that side. It's like, okay, what about the other side? Well, here's the evils of that side. And then it's like, okay, yes, there's an evil side to every side, and then there's neutral, and then there's all this stuff. But it basically says like there's never a good ending. Only the ending that you think is the best ending. I kind of want them to drop that. I kind of want there to be less of a pick between law and chaos and neutrality, and just kind of have a little bit more of a redone thing like that, or something completely different. So either rework the alignment system, or do a completely different system where it's not an alignment system. It is like something else entirely, like choose your action and that molds how the game turns out versus how the ending turns out, that kind of thing. So that's what I would do. Also, more demons, and bringing in all the demons. Don't leave out anything that's been released at all in any of the Shin Megami Tensei games or Persona games. Bring them all in. Give us everything. All right. Can we work on and vote for brand new emotes? Oh boy, the emote section. If that's talking about like the chat, the YouTube chat, then I'm gonna have to see how many more emotes I can just add, because I have a limited amount. It is for Discord. We are drowning in emotes already. We have so many emotes that there are some that people have forgotten exist. So I'm gonna probably. I do need to clean up the entire Discord. Like, it is a mess. There are things in places that they shouldn't be, and there are some things that nobody uses anymore. I just need to clean it up, refreshing it. We'll see about the emotes. Final question from Lyndon. Here is the true final question from him himself. And a yes or no is enough. Mega Man Dual Overdrive. You ready for 2027? Maybe. Here's the thing. I'm a fan of Mega Man. I do like Mega Man. But when it comes to the big three Mega Man, classic Mega Man is not my favorite. I like classic Mega Man, and am I hyped for it? It's okay. I'm fine with it. But here's the thing. Mega Man 11 came out, and I'm like, yay, Mega Man 11. I bought Mega Man 11. I never played Mega Man 11. I still haven't played Mega Man 11. If it was an X game, I'd be more hyped, because finally they would fix that fucking cliffhanger from 8. Or Legends 3. Because that would also fix a fucking cliffhanger. And also, it's Legends! Mega Man Legends! It needs a third. Do not count The Misadventures of Tron Bonne as part of the trilogy. That has its own separate sideline story. We need Mega Man Legends 3. They canceled Mega Man Legends 3. They are wrong. Capcom is wrong. They just... Keiji Inafune left, and they're like, you know what? Fuck all of his other projects. We're just going to do Mega Man. Just plain old Mega Man. All the other projects gone. Just Mega Man. Just original Mega Man. That's what people want. We're going to just Mega Man. I miss X. I miss Legends. I miss Legends a lot. So, anyway. So, that was the last question. Because Master Builder asked yet another question, and that is one that I've already answered earlier on about Raidou. So I'm ending the Q&A, because we are 7 minutes away from 11, which is our typical cutoff time from streaming. So that is everything in a nutshell, guys. I do appreciate you all staying as long as you did, but I know some of you left after a little bit, so we went from 50 to closer to 30, but still, I know some of you will be able to watch a little bit later, so it's getting kind of tired anyway. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. But next week, hopefully, we should be back to what I wanted to do. So you all know what is going on. You all know what to expect. And for those that don't know, they don't watch this, well, they are going to find out. So anyway, thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your support. It's going to be a rough couple of months while I figure some minor things out, but we are going to slowly incorporate things back to normal, and then things will be back to normal. So this is Kagato. I am the Final Boss, and I will see you all hopefully next week. Definitely tomorrow. We got D&D tomorrow. So have a good night, everybody.
Travel to the break it to rounding out. I'm on a mission, routing out whatever it is I gotta do. Routing out until the day I meet you. I'm routing out. I look up in the skies, asking out a while, but never let it faze me. I'm keeping good vibes when I'm on the road. Watch out for all surprises. What it provides is good and bad, but nothing entices.
Another one day
nights like this, put your hands up. Love the moment even from dusk. Yo, you always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that. No, it's been a good day, good